The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022, and this sports show shall begin now. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for joining us here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. I'd like to make a personal statement before we get into all the sports. I can't thank you all enough for the love that I got to feel yesterday. I am actually a bit overwhelmed by it all. I have no idea how I'm supposed to respond to everybody and say thank you to everybody. Numerous text messages, a lot of tweets, so many comments on the Instagram. People have reached out in the YouTube comments. I appreciate the hell out of you so much. I'm lucky to be on this earth at the same time as all of you, and thank you for being so damn kind to me. Yesterday was very, very cool. My wife and I hung out at the house, had a pretty good night, a great night actually, not just a pretty good night, a great night. It was taking it all in was absurd, and I'm very, very grateful and thankful. I'm 35 now. I'm an old fucking man, and I can't thank you all enough. And maybe it's because I am getting to a sentimental chapter of my life where I'm starting to feel actual feelings, which is weird. I don't love it. You know, I saw Kurt Warner's movie. It made me feel stuff. Yeah. I didn't really enjoy that either, but maybe it's just because I'm getting older now. And I thought about this yesterday. I always assumed I was going to die young, and I just became okay with it. It was almost like I was living for a long time, like hoping I'd die young almost. And now I never want to die. So it's like a very interesting transition in the whole brain and life experience. And I think it's mostly because all of you are so nice to me. So thank you so much. Thank you to all the boys for all the love and the celebrating. Thank you to my wife for setting up everything. You're the best. Thank you to everybody. I love you all. Now, with that being said, Deandre Hopkins is out 6 games.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Did not expect this to come at all. There's other news around the NFL, and we'll cover all of it. The Toxic Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, one half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. Tone, shout out to you, pal.
Shout out to you, pal.
Can't wait to dive into a couple T4s today because the basketball is happening, the NHL playoffs are happening, and tonight the Penguins begin their run to the next Lord Stanley Cup against the New York Rangers. We currently have a super boost on FanDuel Sportsbook for both the Breadman, Artemi of the Rangers, and Sidney Crosby to record a point tonight. It's the NHL playoffs. It's playoff hockey. The two best players on either team are going to fucking produce. That's just how hockey goes. That's boosted to plus 200. Let's go ahead and make some chat on this thing.
Here we go.
If you're a Rangers fan, congrats. You're in the playoffs again. Now, you have been quite a thorn in our side, the Pittsburgh Penguins, but when's the last time you guys won a cup? All right.
Yeah,
so
bingo.
then let's just kind of move on the conversation. We put together a super boost to hopefully get both teams to come in here and get a little bit more interest in the rest of the world to maybe make some money off it. Sidney Crosby's going to record a point.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah.
Now, with that sack, Breadman, I don't know. I have no idea. I was told this guy's good. I don't know. We'll fucking find out tonight. I hope so. I'm betting on my guy to hold up his end of the bargain.
Yeah,
I assume Rangers fans are betting on their guy to hold up their end of the bargain. And all of us are getting plus 200 odds, which either team is like, for instance, Penguins fans, for Sidney Crosby to record a point, lock.
Done deal.
Rangers fans, for the Breadman to record a point, they're lock. So for all of us, we should feel pretty confident in both of this, I think. I'm pretty pumped up about it. Let's get into it. We'll talk to Mike Rupp in the second hour. But Dana White will join us in the third hour. AJ Hawk will join us in the next hour. We got to talk about this nuke news.
Yeah. Huge.
Hey, this is massive. This is a big ordeal. This probably forced the Hollywood Brown trade a lot more than anybody else could even imagine. And that's still wild because it didn't seem like Baltimore took advantage of the Cardinals as much as they potentially could have if they knew that they were in this type of position. Ian Rappaport reported yesterday that the Arizona Cardinals will lose wide receiver Deandre Hopkins for the first 6 games of the NFL season after a PED suspension. Now, let's remember that he will be able to attend training camp and OTAs, and I think even play in preseason games if he wants to. Once the regular season starts, though, he will not be allowed in the building until at least week 7. He has dropped his appeal on this entire thing, so this is set and locked and loaded for Nuke. Nuke had a response. He said that he has never tested positive for any performance-enhancing drugs in his 10-year NFL career. To learn that his November test came back with trace elements of a banned substance, he was confused and shocked. Okay. I am very mindful of what I put in my body and have always taken a holistic approach, so I'm working with my team to investigate how this could have happened. But even as careful as I have been, clearly I wasn't careful enough. For that, I apologize to Cardinals fans, my teammates, and the entire Cardinals organization. I never want to let my team down. I fully intend to get to the bottom of this. As soon as I have more information, I will share it. Deandre Hopkins via Deandre Hopkins Instagram. So he says he takes a holistic approach. Maybe it was the punch of karma.
Could have been.
No, I have no idea what it could have been, but I do know that this is a very fickle situation because the players in the NFL that do not take any performance-enhancing drugs have a view on the guys that do take performance-enhancing drugs as, oh, those guys are certainly cheating. Those guys have the ability to recover quicker. Those guys have the ability to not get sore. Those guys' attention and focus levels are higher than mine will ever be without it. So there is a very much negative attitude on performance-enhancing drugs in the NFL world, okay? I don't know if people just expect that a lot of people are on a bunch of PEDs and shit like that. I don't think that's an accurate assessment at all, at least from my time in the NFL. What I do know, though, is that a lot of guys will take a lot of supplements to try to make up for either energy lacking or focus or anything like that, and they try to read all the ingredients that are on all of the supplements. Some supplements, you know, even a friend will get a marketing deal with, and they'll bring it in, and it'll be for the entire locker room, get all these supplements. And if you read through what are allegedly in the supplements, they will say, hey, everything in here is good for you guys in the NFL testing thing. But the thing about the supplement business, you see, is it's not FDA regulated.
Oh.
So people can just literally fucking lie about what are in supplements. So guys will take these supplements, and we've all heard of all the different ones for pre-workout and everything like that. And literally, they might be taking something that they had no clue and even investigated and looked into and might have even called the fucking operation and say, hey, this says there's none of this in there. Is there any of this in there? And they say, no, there isn't any in there because it doesn't have to be regulated, doesn't have to be investigated, doesn't have to get approved. They can just say what's in there and it not have to be in there. So guys, since the beginning of drug testing, have been failing tests when they legitimately do not believe they're taking anything. And for a long time, it was always like, oh, that guy's fucking lying. That guy's lying. That guy's lying. And it's like, no, the guy's not lying. It maybe was the supplement that he was taking was literally lying right to his face on the bottle. And if you're somebody who isn't the most educated human of all time, like you have to learn this, you would just assume that the GNC is not going to lie to you. You would assume that the bottle that is a company that is making millions and millions of dollars isn't going to lie to you. But there's a chance that their operation, their warehouse, the way they go about filling in their supplements into the pills or whatever, gets tainted by another supplement that they're making at the same exact warehouse or facility that's being packaged into another bottle and another branding. So there's like a chance that guys have failed tests over the NFL since the beginning of the NFL that they had no clue that they were going to fail for, had no intentions of failing for, and actually hate what happened. That has been happening, I think, since the beginning because of the way the FDA views the supplement companies. With that being said, there are some dudes that just are trying. There are some dudes that are just trying to beat the game. I mean, baseball had a big deal with it, and I know the, what's that documentary?
Screwball.
Screwball documents the entire thing. They're trying to beat the fucking testing system. They are trying we need our testosterone to boost at this particular time, but go down after this particular time because they could get drug tested at this time, and in this month we need this to happen, and we need to have our levels at this. So they were gaming the testing. Like, that's insane. And I think at baseball, that was at a much higher level. Then Icarus, the documentary about Lance Armstrong that ended up becoming a documentary about the Russians cheating the Olympic testing thing with the mad scientist actually getting caught up in this documentary, the way they're able to construct things that are getting injected into their bodies and then have the ability to drop off for a test and then come back up. It's like, insanity.
Yeah.
I think there are guys like that in the NFL as well. I think there are guys that are trying to beat the game, beat the system, trying to get through it and do that whole thing. But I do believe a lot of the fails are from guys that have no fucking idea that they're going to potentially fail, and it comes out of nowhere, and it's very alarming because your immediate thought is, oh, my entire legacy is going to be tainted. Everything I've ever done on the football field is going to be tainted by this one particular test in which I took a pre-workout that I had no idea had this shit in it, and it turns out it had it in there. It's a crazy time, and that's why you always see in my 10-year career, I've never tested positive, because that's Nuke worrying that this one fuck-up could potentially taint everything, and I don't think it should, especially if it comes out that he had no fucking idea.
Well, and he had the nagging injury all last year, too, so there's probably a good chance, this was for, like, a recovery type thing, and he just assumed, like, hey, this is going to help me, because they were right in the middle of that playoff push, too. Like, every week it was like, well, Nuke's got this injury, but is he going to play? Like, he probably, I mean, it stinks because especially when you see, like, how badly they need him. I don't know. And like you mentioned with, like, all the guys, like, I don't know. Do you think most people just assume that he has been doing this his whole career?
I don't know, but I do think that people think that he was taking it on purpose. Like, I think people's natural thing every time an athlete, and I might be wrong. I could be wrong, and I apologize that I'm potentially judging people for being this negative. But I think anytime a player comes out and says, like, I did not know this was in there, the natural reaction is like, well, how do you not fucking know?
How?
Especially,
How do you not fucking know? And it's like that FDA stuff is real. Like they don't have to, somehow the supplement world has fallen into this crack that they don't have to get legitimized, that not everything gets investigated. I think they have to have, I think their warehouses and manufacturers have to be up to a certain code.
Yeah.
But what's actually going into the shit is not getting legitimized or tested, I don't think, unless they change it within the last year or so.
I think people's normal reaction immediately is to go that negative route, especially when you're coming off an injury. They just assume players are trying to get back from injury faster. And the stuff with, like, the GNC and not having to say what's exactly in it, does him saying that he's completely holistic hurt that? Like, because do holistic people put
supplements?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, I didn't know if they just only had ginseng.
Well, that's what I think that type of shit comes in like pills and
Yeah,
shit.
it does.
You know, like I think they do almost more of that. Almost.
Yeah, specifically.
But it's not like they're not putting like creatine in there.
Correct.
And like caffeine and everything. It's like almost the vitamins and how do you make your body the Uber that it could possibly be. I think I don't know enough about any of this to really be talking, but I do remember like the supernatural Healy people taking the vitamins.
A lot of herbals.
Yeah, and all
stuff,
that shit.
supplements,
So they don't have to eat it because it tastes terrible.
Well, how often does that list change, though? Like,
Every year of what the new stuff that's on the list of what they're testing for?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if for a while there are guys that are, if it's not getting tested for, okay, we can do this. And then the NFL catches up to them almost.
So they have to keep up with it every year because, like, if Nuke last year did this with he was banged up and then was like, okay, we'll just try that again because it worked for me. But then, going into the season,
everybody knows. Everybody
they get updated.
Yeah, everybody gets a heads up. Like, hey, this has been added into the testing. For instance, the deer antler spray.
Yeah.
The deer antler has something in it that generates some sort of reaction. I'm not 100% sure what it is. I haven't looked into it enough. But it was not being tested for a long time by the NFL. And guys had found out about it. And guys had been using it, right? Because it was a recovery agent, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Right. I think. But it hadn't been found out yet by the NFL. So then when the NFL finds out about it, it becomes a big story. Hey, the NFL is now testing for whatever's in. They're not testing for deer antler spray. Whatever the motherfucker that's in the deer antler spray that's actually doing the work, that automatically ends up on the list. The whole, and it's an interesting process, man. The whole drug, because I've seen guys walk in the locker room. It's like, well, that guy's definitely on something.
Yeah.
Like, what's that guy? Then he'll fail a test. He'll get suspended. Not care at all. Come back the exact same way. It's like, yeah, that's just how I. Yeah, this is just who I am.
Yeah, you lose money.
They're either going to catch me or they're not. It's crazy. And then, but a large majority, there is no conversation about that type of shit in the locker room. None. Ever. I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about that type of stuff in the locker room other than like, hey, you can go get, this guy does good blood. They remove your blood and then pump it back into your knees and regenerate this, a whole thing. That wasn't really a conversation I heard much about. But I think everybody's trying to beat the game. But in the NFL, it's not like you're heralded as a cool dude if you're taking shit. It's
No,
like, it's
right.
not. It's like, oh, this guy is fucking over people right now.
Well, and it's like in baseball where it's like, hey, if you're going to get suspended, but you're going to hit 30 more home runs and make $50 million more dollars, like in football, like you just said, guys come in the offseason, maybe they look a little different, and then they miss 4 or 5 or 6 games, but then they have one of their best years and they probably get paid because of it. It's probably pretty hard to, justify doing it, but also understand that, hey, my entire livelihood is based on what I do on the field. And sure, this is going to hurt me in the short term, but in the long term, there's a chance that I really benefit from, doing this.
The whole thought of performance-enhancing drugs is so fascinating to me because at what point did they decide they had to start limiting what people would put in? Because there's some people that would do anything to win.
Oh, yeah.
Anything to win. That's why these rules are even in there because people are like, oh, that was for horses? It makes them run faster? Well, fuck, I wonder what it'll do to my
I'll
muscles.
try it.
Let's find out.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm a monster. Some of these bodybuilders, and they'll pop up on my Instagram Explore page every once in a while. What the fuck?
Insane.
Yeah.
How? I mean, we clap. They get awards and stuff
Sure.
for how big can your muscles get? Some of
Yeah.
those. I saw guys' quads that had quads.
Yeah.
His quads had quads, and they stand there and they do this whole flex thing, and it's like their entire body is maxed out. And I'm like, well, you have to be on absolutely everything. The entire process of they have to shuffle all those drugs around with them at all times, probably illegally get them all, and then they have to do them all on a consistent basis while working out at all times and eating everything. I mean, the amount of commitment to just wanting to win is next level for some people, and I guess that's why they have to test some people. But goddamn, I seen some gorillas on the Explore page that ain't gonna live long.
What are you talking about? I thought you just ate liver.
Yeah, I was going to.
He is nothing compared to some of these
No.
fucking world bodybuilder guys that pop up on my thing. Some of these bodybuilder dudes, holy fuck.
Yeah,
How long do they live? They can't
I actually
be.
just saw recently that a very young bodybuilder,
Indy,
like
right?
37 or something like that, died. Because I assume that it's not humanly possible to look like that if you're not taking everything.
This
Like,
dude
I don't-
had vascularity on each of his abs. He had 10 abs.
Yeah.
His abs were as big as my chest. It was like he was working on it. I'm like, God damn. But I guess, the benefit is you become a champion in sports, you become faster, but I feel like you just get caught. I feel like you always get caught up in it. And then the entire HGH conversation became a hilarious one. I mean, that was awesome. I was right in the middle of that. And not right in the middle. My career was right in the middle of that. They were going to start testing for HGH because that was the new thing. Everybody was talking about, everybody's on HGH. Everybody's on HGH. That was back when Barry Bonds' head grew and every, older vets guys were coming back, from surgery in half the amount of time they used to be and then coming back stronger and faster than ever. It's like, holy shit. Then people start talking about this HGH. They're like, it is the actual fountain of youth. Yeah. We have found with the fountain of youth. And I remember in the locker room, the conversation was, as soon as we retire, I'm fucking finding whatever this HGH thing is, and I'm taking all of it.
Yep.
They're like, everything on your body gets bigger. You become smarter, more clear-headed. You see better. Your hand-eye coordination's better than it's ever going to be. And you recover immediately after your workout, so you can just go back into another workout if you want to. It'll keep you lean. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
How is this? Who found this glorious thing? But it was always like this myth that was talked about. And I assume some guys were using it. I assume it was happening. But it became a sticking point in the NFL, between the NFL and the NFLPA for some reason. Because the NFL wanted to start testing for HGH. And this was like 10 years ago, probably 10 years ago, when we didn't know as much about HGH, I don't think. And it was just kind of still something that was like being chatted about as a possibility. Not really like hey, this is actually what people do all the time as adults in the world that have a lot of money. They just take this shit and then they're the 29-year-old versions of themselves when they're like 51 on yachts dancing, having the time of their life.
Bingo.
That guy was awesome.
That's not just one guy. There's thousands
Yeah,
of them
right.
Ton of them.
because of this HGH, I think. So it was always talked about. The NFL wanted to test for it, and they said the only way you could test for it is if you take blood. So the NFLPA then had to okay and agree to random blood tests happening throughout the entire year, just like there is random piss tests throughout the entire year for performance-enhancing drugs. Then that led to the conversation, well, what's the baseline for every human's growth hormone? So if you take let's say, James Harrison's blood, are you comparing it to Ty Schmidt's human growth hormone, his natural hormone? How do you know what the baseline's going to be? And they fought on that for like months and months and months and months and months. The testing for the HGH got delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And then they finally just agreed to start doing the drug test or the blood testing. And I still don't think anybody has ever failed it because I'm not sure they ever put a baseline out there. I think the agreement was, hey, we have to fucking like at least say we're testing for it, even though nobody's ever going to fail it because there's no natural baseline for whatever human has, because some might have more than other humans have. It's like, oh, so HGH is like the best drug of all time. So even if they try to test for it, they can't find it. It's like, holy shit, what is this thing? I think that is really the last hilarious bargain between the NFL and the NFLPA about performance enhancing. It was like, how do we keep HGH out of here? And then they were like, every doctor was like, you can't.
It's impossible.
God, we just got to test for it. Well, how do you know what the baseline was before? Did you test for his HGH whenever he was a child, and then as a teenager, then when he was a late teen, then whenever he was have you done that through his entire life? We don't know. His growth hormone could have just shot up more than anybody else. Oh, so everybody can take it while we're still testing them for it? Yeah, but we can still say we're testing for it, right? Well, you are, kind of.
Yeah, we're
all right, cool. Yeah, we're covered. Perfect. So that's, I think, the whole PED process is wild because there has to be a baseline. There also has to be rules for engagement because what some people will do. But in there's so many gray areas, and the supplement game is certainly a part of that.
Well, do the pro sports work with like the other leagues? Because was it more relevant in baseball before the NFL? So would they ask like the ML? Would the NFL ask the MLB like, hey, how do you guys get to the bottom of it? And obviously, I think they just went straight to the doctors who are actually giving the players HGH, and that's how they figured it out.
I think, was the and they haven't caught anybody in HGH over there.
No, okay.
No, I don't think anybody's ever been caught in HGH except for in Constitution or in front of Congress whenever they're talking.
Right.
I don't think there is a way to find it unless you have somebody's baseline, and they have. I might be wrong. I might be speaking out of pocket here, but my understanding from somebody that got my blood taken for HGH testing, while asking the person who, I guess that person is not necessarily a scientist or a full doctor, they're just taking my blood, but it's like, how the fuck do they know what's coming out here? I have no idea.
No, I don't think that, because like Barry Bonds never failed a test.
Yes.
He never actually failed a test. It's just when he walked into the courtroom, everyone was like, yeah, I mean, come on, this guy's been fucking juicing. Are you kidding me? But yeah, he never failed a test, so I don't know if they actually could test for it.
2011, a player tested positive for HGH. That might have
first baseman
for baseball.
Yes.
So I'd be intrigued to hear how many appeals that he could potentially go through now versus what was known in 2011 about HGH. I mean, that is another hilarious conversation. That guy could probably get that written off the books right now if he wanted to go.
Yeah.
Say, well, my baseline was just naturally higher. Test me now. It's already back. What's up?
Yeah, well, and that's probably the only way, right? Is that they just had like the blood from the year before, and then it just like exponentially grew going into the 2011 season. Because like you just mentioned with the baseline, if there's no baseline, like there just has to be a massive growth in it or like a higher percentage of it in your blood for them to actually be able to say, okay, yeah, you're testing positive for HGH.
Yeah, I don't know. Because then they have to take everybody's blood for the baseline, and there's no way. Is that even accurate? I have no idea.
Comparable. Like, can you even compare those?
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no clue. That's why the PED shit is crazy. And I think this younger generation, I think they're less apt to put anything in their body, by the way. Like steroids, I think steroids are going to go down, not up with this next generation of athletes. I think they firmly believe in like what TB12 is now pitching. Like, hey, if I eat avocado ice cream and I have this amount of water and electrolytes every single day, my body will be its best being. I'm not going to sacrifice years off the end of my life just so I'm better in this portion of my life athletically. Because I don't think we've ever seen... I don't know. Has anybody that has abused steroids lived long? We're like, oh, crazy that person lived. They
always die from like heart failure.
It almost always happens or whatever. So I think this younger generation is less likely to do everything, but I don't think the HGH era ever really got any answers.
Yeah.
I still don't think there's any answers in the HGH era, and that one will continue to go on forever.
Well, and you probably think that with NIL too, right? Because with the NIL, it's like, I got to be on the field. Like if I am doing stuff to try and get like a advantage and then I lose my scholarship or I lose playing time, then all of a sudden you're also losing money in college, not just the pros.
So the NIL shit, that's a great transition. We'll move past. Hey, Hop, we hope you're all right.
Yeah, good luck, Hop.
Hope you didn't take anything that's going to kill you. Hope it was an accident, even though that stinks and your heart probably dropped immediately upon seeing that you failed a test. That's a nightmare, by the way. Yeah. When you take a test and you're waiting on the result, It does not, especially if you're taking a pre-workout or somebody else's pre-workout, putting it in your bottle. Hey, what do you got over there? You got a little juice? Yeah, here's a little pre-workout. Let me go ahead and take it. That one bottle could be tainted and take out like 5-6 guys on a team.
Yeah, not expecting it at all.
Yeah.
Like
November.
assuming just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pass this, and then boom, not so much.
There was a time where allegedly I heard from another place, obviously, allegedly at another place in college when they would potentially test for street drugs or something like that. Guys would, from what I heard, guys would get like a Visine bottle or something, and they would empty it, they'd wash it out. They would get somebody who had clean urine for them. They would put that into the Visine bottle. Then you would sleep with tights on, and you would put said Visine bottle in between thighs while you sleep. So this is allegedly what other people would do.
Sure.
So then that Visine would automatically become your body temperature because it's sleeping in between your legs. Then whenever you wake up for the test in the morning, this is what they do. Obviously, I'm hearing about this. Never done this myself. You wake up. You pop that thing in the microwave a little bit. You give it like 5, 7, 8 seconds in there. Go ahead and let that cook just a little bit, allegedly. Then you put it back down in your tights. Then you go in for your test, and they say, hey, okay, and they watch you from behind. You go down in there, allegedly, from what I heard, take that Visine bottle out, spray it in there, tuck it back in, obviously, shut that thing, from what I heard, and then they would give it, obviously, the field temperature test to see if it was actual piss. Then they would lift it and put it into a little thing to make sure there's enough electrolytes to see if it's actual piss. Then it would get confirmed that it is actual piss. Then they would seal it away, you'd sign it, you'd walk away. And those people would know, okay, I'm not failing this particular test because that person who just peed in it, there was a guy, from what I heard, obviously got a woman who did not do any drugs to piss in there. He did pass the drug test. He was pregnant.
Oh, no.
Yeah, ruined the whole thing for everybody, from what I heard.
Oh no!
Damn.
Yeah, from what I heard, ruined the whole thing for everybody.
That's tough.
That is tough. I mean, I don't know if the baby was his or not. Obviously, I wasn't that close to the situation.
Congratulations, maybe?
No, it were in order, I guess. I don't know. Ruined the whole thing for everybody. Yeah. That's like back whenever they used to allegedly use those big fake penises.
Oh yeah, the Wizinator.
Fake dongs.
Classic Wizinator.
Big fake dongs, yeah. I heard of other people having somebody in the locker room thinking about trying to do that and the entire process of how that would work out. They've gone very next generation with those things.
Oh yeah.
There's like some remote operatives in that thing.
Yeah.
To really look alive.
Yeah, really get the job done.
From what I heard. That one actually, from what I heard. The Visine one as well, too, obviously.
Yeah.
Of course.
Toothpaste bottle.
The next batch of people, from what I heard, that had to go in there and tried to do the Visine thing, they had not gotten a heads up. None of us had gotten a heads up that things had changed. So, from what I heard, and by us, I mean them, the person that told the story.
Sure.
I'm quoting the person. So, they go in there, Visine. This thing has worked for years, at said place, allegedly. Go in there, put it in, turn around, hand the pee. Well, the pee's not warm enough, said the
Oh, no.
Heat it up.
piss test taker.
Got to go again.
Oh, I can't pee. I don't know how that would happen. That's weird. So then that person allegedly potentially ran around said facility to find somebody that could potentially, generate
Immediately, yes.
some non-pregnant, non-positive
Right.
urine. Was able to do so. Go back down there. This is not warm. Had to run the whole gamut again. Turns out they knew the whole game.
Yeah, they caught on.
Turns out they knew the whole game. That first class of people that had to take that group of testing of that had to be the worst mornings of their life.
Nightmare.
That had to be the worst mornings of their life. My friend who told me that story allegedly woke up with like 15 text messages. It was like code red, dude.
Yeah. The game has changed.
Code red. You guys need to start finding mushrooms because they're not spinal tapping anybody, I don't think. It was a wild.
Jesus.
From what I heard, from what I heard.
Yeah. Through the wire.
I got tested 207 times, I think, over 27 months with the NFL's substance of abuse program.
Got pretty good at it, I assume.
Yeah, I'm pretty solid at pissing right in front of a dude in random bathrooms in hotels. I think at a gas station one time I got tested. That was awesome. we had to get the key. Like, you ever been to one of those
Like
country?
a wooden block.
Yeah, I had to get the key. Me and this dude walk in, get the key. Yeah, have to go out, open it up. We go into a little room right next to like a little ice refrigerator, basically. Have to sign all these paperwork, and then he walks out of there, and then I walk out of there. They had to think, those two dudes.
What the hell?
What the hell's going on here?
Those two dudes just fucked each other. Turns out, no, I wasn't able to do really any of that or anything. I was just sitting there. 200 and some times I was pissing in front of a guy. That was insane.
That's so
Yeah,
many.
it's enough for a lifetime.
It was a lot. It's the reason why they don't get any. That's why nobody gets out of the substance abuse program. But there's no way I'll stay in that thing for my entire career. I wasn't even allowed to look at anything, basically. Smoked spice for like 3 months. That was bad. That was terrible. I was rolling spice blunts at one point.
I can't imagine that.
It was pretty sweet. Those blunts were pretty sweet looking, though, weren't they, Nick?
Yeah, then you became a gateway drug. Oh, try this stuff. It's pretty good.
Well, I wanted, I like the community.
Join in.
Yeah, I like the community. What, you want me to be alone?
Something for everybody.
I don't want to be
Not on that
alone.
stuff.
It was wild times. 27 months. I couldn't talk to anybody. Couldn't do anything. Hey, what are you guys doing tonight? Same thing we did right before you got arrested, man.
Okay.
All right,
Drinking pretty heavily.
I can't hear you, Nick. I got to fix these things. What'd you say?
Just drinking pretty heavily.
Yeah, sounds like fun, man. I'll sit here in my house, I guess. I bought every single video game console.
Nice.
I assumed I'll just get addicted to one of these.
Yeah,
Everybody
sure.
does.
Never did.
Never caught on.
Fucking one time each of them. Hated it. Played Call of Duty on Xbox. Got killed 45 times in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's tough.
This is terrible. I hate this. So I just started tweeting. It's basically what I did today.
Yeah. Worked out.
Hey, so shout out to that.
Shout out Twitter.
Anyways, the drug testing policy, I just think we should have a little bit more, I don't want to say sympathy for the players, but I do believe there should be an understanding that the FDA process is not necessarily a firm science on what is and what is not in supplements. And guys do potentially try to take some pre-workout or some, if there is a little recovery thing in there. And I believe the Colts training room used to tell me, if it works, probably can't take it. Okay. So that was very nice. That was very good to hear. The NFL had an agreement with some supplement company. They had this one, it was such a big deal. It was honestly became such a big deal because guys were failing and they had no idea. So the NFL would used to certify some supplement companies. And then there was even like an app where the NFL had this supplement app that we would open and then we'd scan the QR code on the supplement and then it would either give you a green or a red. But then obviously that just became whichever companies would give money to the NFL became in there. So the players are immediately like, well, fuck this. We're not getting any money from these people. So we're not going to do this. Well, these are the safe ones. It's like, well, this is actual oatmeal. This is not like any supplement at all. Like, what are we even doing here? So it has been something that I think they've tried to fix. But the standard rule of thumb from the NFL is you know what you put in your body and you will be held accountable for it. It's like, well, sometimes we don't.
So I just tried to look up real quick a little bit on the HGH testing. If you just Google NFL HGH testing, there aren't even articles from the past 3 years. The only stuff is coming out from 2011 when they talked about it in 2014 when it was actually in the CBA and they were doing the test. Also, the synthetic levels that they test for are only testable for the first 48 hours. So it's very easily maneuvered around if you're using.
Yeah, so nobody's ever going to test positive for HGH.
No.
Yeah, impossible.
Can't do it.
And HGH you can be on all the time. Like it's not like a steroid where you have to cycle off. Like you can be on HGH your whole life.
Reorder.
What's the downside of it? It also grows like cancerous tumors in your body or something.
Yeah,
like that, right?
everything, literally everything in and on your body grows. Like your feet grow, your head grows, like everything grows. So if you don't continue it or stop after a certain amount of time, your body,
What's the downfall? Like your joints, obviously, there has to be some sort of.
I
You
mean,
gotta get new shoes.
Is there any
feet
new
grow.
wardrobe?
New wardrobe, right?
None of your shoes are gonna
Big
fit.
ears?
Bigger hat size.
Yeah.
Big hat size?
Bigger earmuffs.
I have a massive head to begin with. Could you imagine this block?
Yeah. It'd be a 10 and a half.
Yeah.
It'd be like
Growing
those
strong.
like toy hats, the joke ones.
What does it do to my knees? Does it make them better? Am I going right back into the NFL immediately? I'm on HH. Oh, I'm joking. It's a rib. It's a rib.
Sounds like you're playing tight end if you're coming back.
Huh? How about it? What if I am? I can grow to 6'4".
6'4". I was just gonna say we're fucking small forward.
We are not in the game of advocating for HGH. We're just explaining the performance-enhancing drug process.
This
It
is how
does
it
say
works.
that one of the biggest cons is the risk of cancer.
They have to have something though to fight against it.
And then
Oh, you can get cancer. All right.
hip, knee, and joint pain. That's pretty much
It's gone.
it.
Oh, so I'm gonna have knee pain, or I'm not? Because I already got
If
that.
you have scoliosis, it makes it worse.
Really?
I'm actually reading an article here. It slows aging as well.
Wow,
Oh yeah.
But speeds up death.
And high cholesterol.
that's not what they're saying. What? It will make my cholesterol higher?
Yeah, risk of
Can't be on keto and
increased risk
HGH.
of,
Can't be on keto and HGH.
increased risk of diabetes.
So this is what AJ's on.
Yeah.
Probably.
This
A lot,
is
a
what
lot of
AJ's on.
bodybuilders, as crazy as this sounds, take insulin.
What does that mean?
Like it's for diabetics, but a lot of actual bodybuilders take insulin.
Because they have such a high cholesterol diet.
Insulin makes you absolutely jacked, but every time you take it, there is a possibility that you could die.
Oh, every time?
Insulin does?
You have to have like a watcher. Like this is for bodybuilders.
This is for those dudes on the Explore page that pop up, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what is that?
There's a lot of.
How do they go about their day to day? Are they able to walk?
They don't.
No, their day sucks.
No.
Insulin's like putting a little fucking ketchup on your tremblogne sandwich.
I'd say a lot more than ketchup, my friend. Like
Hot sauce.
relish?
On your tremblogne.
How often do you take it? Like once a month?
I don't know the full thing. I think it's every other day. I imagine probably HGH is every day, right?
Gumpy, you know a lot about
You
this.
do know a lot about that.
Guppy's head used to be 4 times bigger. He has an entire other wardrobe that got
does.
4X Guppy.
Yeah.
2 closets.
His entire team. We've seen the Gorilla Squad.
Yeah.
They got big necks and heads.
Yeah, they were all yoked up.
They got a, hey, what is this closet over here? Oh, that's whenever we become, you
That's
know.
my cycle closet, actually. Whenever I'm starting one, I know I got to start wearing these clothes.
This is the orangutan one. This is the everyday one. All right, depending upon where we want to go. That's got to be what AJ's on. We'll ask him the
That
next
would
time.
explain his massive forehead.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob Carpenter, I saw him repping out 315, so I assume he and AJ are just.
Yeah, but Bob's actually doing commercials for one of these companies, right? Didn't we see him?
He's pushing testosterone 100%.
Yeah, I didn't want to out him on the show because I wanted him to say it, but he didn't really say it. He said, yeah, I'm trying to be my best self or something like that. But I saw the commercial, right? He's
They
pushing.
literally showed a bottle of testosterone and him working out. That was the commercial.
He's
Is
getting
he on
out.
yeah.
Nugenics?
No,
with
I think
Frank
he's creating
Thomas?
his own. And what's the other one? TRT, right? That's another
TRT.
massive one.
That's basically what he's promoting. So you get your blood tested, then you take however much testosterone for your age to keep you at the right levels.
Oh, because it
Hey,
declines.
by the way, I feel like that's the
Can't
one.
wait.
Isn't that the one? That one's better than the HGH one? Am I growing cancer from the TRT one or no?
Anything like TRT you can be on forever, but HGH is the same thing. Like HGH and testosterone is like
Mega
the
powers coming in.
combo.
The
That's
holy
the
mecca.
that's the holy grail. Both those together
Oh.
will keep you young forever.
Fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Until your heart explodes.
Yeah.
No, because the TRT gets you at the level that you're supposed to
Yeah.
be.
Like you can have heart problems if
Allegedly.
you have low testosterone as well.
And then the HGH just sends you off a cliff.
Well, I don't know if it actually kills you. I think it just makes you bigger, so you might wobble.
Oh, okay.
You might wobble off the cliff.
Okay.
But anyways, Deandre Hopkins wasn't on any of that.
No, he
No.
wasn't.
No.
Well,
he
we don't
wasn't.
know, actually. I guess
Hopefully not.
the more he learns, the more we'll find out. John Lynch says he expects Deebo to remain with the San Francisco 49ers despite him wanting to be traded. He broke that news on KNBR.
Hell yeah.
Home of
The bone.
That's right, over there in San Francisco. I think it's the same radio station that we recorded
Probably.
from. Bleacher Report quotes John from KNBR that he expects Deebo to remain with the team even though his trade request. Lynch believes any issues between the sides can be ironed out. We kind of felt that same way when we heard Deebo talking about it in Miss Precious's video. And in that video, you know, he was chatting allegedly with A.J. Brown, and allegedly this was them. We can't say for certainty, but felt like it was. Didn't seem like there was real beef between Deebo and the Niners. That's why I think every person that has any inside information on it at all has said they think they'll be able to work this out. Hey, money has a way of figuring things out. Respect and conversation have a way of figuring things out. Deebo and the Niners, with 2 years left on his deal, everybody assumes is going to get figured out. The other part of Miss Precious's video that we heard, if it is truly them, was A.J. Brown talking about his situation with the Tennessee Titans, where in that video, it allegedly is A.J. Brown stating that they only offered him 20, even though they know that he can get 25 somewhere else. Now reports are coming out that the Titans only offered A.J. 16 million, and he said that if they would have offered him 22, he would have stayed, which is why A.J. Brown tweeted and said, "This ain't my fault. Okay, this is not my fault." Ari Mirov at My Sports Update of Pro Football Focus tweets, A.J. Brown told Todd Davenport.
Yep.
Sure.
Todd.
Thomas?
Todd sounds
Tim?
right.
Terry?
Ty, maybe?
Tanya.
Oh. Tara?
Tehran.
Teron Davenport _ NFL at T Davenport _ NFL that the Titans contract extension offer was for $16 million per season with incentives that could get up to 20. Brown says he would have stayed if they offered him $22 million. This was not my fault. Directly from the source, A.J. Brown told Teron Davenport the information that we had been wondering. They get to 22, he sticks around, or they would have kept it at 22. He sticks around. They did not. That's a going rate for wide receiver these days. And we've talked about the last few, weeks. There's going to be teams that decide to pay a vet, and there's going to be teams that don't want to pay a vet and want to go with a younger route in hopes of finding the next vet that's going to get paid somewhere else. I'll be intrigued to see who ends up winning this whole thing. Do teams that pay the veteran wide receiver and get him on the team, and let him do his thing, Odell Beckham Jr. to the Rams, win a Super Bowl, Antonio Brown Gronk with the Buccaneers win a Super Bowl, but Chiefs have won a Super Bowl in the past. They let Tyreek Hill go to Miami and draft somebody else. So this is going to be two different narratives, I think, as we build teams going forward.
Well, and it feels like if the Niners were going to trade him, they would have done what the Titans did, right, and move him on draft night and then, get a guy who hopefully can do something similar or at least produce something. Because the fact that they didn't trade him on draft night to get some sort of, wide receiver that they know they're going to have for the next 4 years like the Titans did makes me think now, too, they're not going to trade him before the season for next year's draft pick.
As soon as we found out he had 2 years left on his deal, we all said, oh, he's not going anywhere, right? Because it's not even like they can make up the excuse of, oh, at least we're getting something from him, not losing him or whatever. Well, when you say that, you're immediately just ruling out him being on the field for your team, which is a massive, massive upside. But I think he has 2 years left on his deal. Like 6.8 or something like that, and like $7 million or something. That is nowhere near at the point where the Niners need to make a deal, and they know that. And he can't hold out with the new CBA. They know that. Deebo hopefully gets paid. We hope he gets all his money. But the Niners have all the control, as is what every single insider has said since the beginning this whole thing started out.
I think he only has 1 year left.
He does.
Okay.
Before his because he doesn't have a fifth-year option because he's a second-round pick.
He has. He's getting paid 4.9 this year. I can't remember who does have 6.8 and 7.
Oh, Darren Waller. That's
Darren had 2 years left on his deal.
That's right.
There's no way to know. Deebo's not like that. So I was completely wrong with everything I just said for the last 2 minutes.
But it still is the same case for even 1 year. Like if you're gonna have Deebo Samuel and you're gonna bring back Jimmy G possibly for another year, like you might as well just say, all right, we'll try again with this team who just went to the NFC Championship, and then if it doesn't work out and we can't re-sign Deebo next offseason, then at least we have a rookie QB on a contract and you don't have to pay for Jimmy.
I'm about done with people saying at least we get something from him because we're not able to pay him.
Yeah.
Like, he's a football player. You're getting football plays from him for another year. And also in that year, maybe relationships get better. Maybe you figure out how to negotiate a longer deal. Now, the player isn't going to want that. They're going to want to get paid before the season even starts. But I think you're going to continue to see teams say like, no, we can figure this out. Let's go. We can go 1 more year here.
Well, in terms of, to your point about like paying a veteran, like both A.J. Brown and Deebo, and why this is so weird is like, they've been in the league, but these guys are still like very young, and they're proven. They've both went to Pro Bowls. Like, so are you trading off like, you don't want to pay that guy, but it's like the guy you're bringing in, A, you don't know if he's going to be as good as A.J. Brown or Deebo is, and B, what is he? He's 3 years younger. Like it's not like these guys are going to be 30 and 31 years old, you know?
$20 million cheaper 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of money to save on the cap, even though we don't know where the cap's going to be. Jim Irsay said yesterday, we need more money.
Yeah.
We need more money. And Brandon Beane said the cap actually should be around about 218, 220. We're actually below where we thought it was going to be, so that's affected us a little bit. Beane, by the way, was awesome yesterday.
Yeah.
He's aggressive, too.
Yeah.
He knows it. He knows he's aggressive. He loves that he's aggressive, and he's got his team to the right spot. Let's get to a break. On the other side, we'll answer some phone calls on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Can't wait to chat with Yins out there. Thank you all so much for all the love yesterday. I took another trip around the fire and sky.
Hell yeah. 35.
Here we are.
President.
Yeah.
Is it 35 or 36? 35.
35.
Up to something. Season's still going on.
It's not. We put it on delay. That would have to be something where I would have to go learn a lot.
Nah.
Yeah, would have to. Because I stay out of all that shit so much that I would have to go learn the lay of the land a little bit. I'd probably have to disappear for a few years to do that.
You could go to the school of Dewey Johnson, though, and just...
Well, I'd certainly try to learn from Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Obviously.
I would have to go like intern though for like a senator to see how shit gets. I'd have to do all that shit.
Yeah, right. I mean, or you could just bring in
I think it's
Gonzo.
quite aggressive to try to just become president when you've
Well,
never
if
been a
you
part of politics before.
surround your cabinet with people who know.
President seems like the worst job of all time.
By far.
I guess people love it just because they like power and they like the whole thing. Man, those are tough decisions. I don't know. I think every day is a tough decision.
Yeah. I mean, do you
Go ahead.
do you want to age 40 years in 4 years? That's basically like the question.
I do believe there has to be younger people in charge, though.
You do get a chef, though.
No offense to all the olds that I every once in a while see speak on TV.
Yeah, pretty old.
I know you've lived through a lot, so that is certainly something, but I mean, we're changing. The world's changing a lot.
Personally, I would prefer the hard decisions that Jim Irsay has to make versus the hard decisions that a president has to make.
That's right. I'm going to try to become an owner of a team.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's go ahead and just take that off
We'll
the books.
pivot.
Okay.
Okay.
You can come back to that in 25 years, 30 years.
Well, by the way, still going to have to disappear for a while and learn a lot of it.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know shit about fucking that world, other than the fact that everybody yells at everybody.
Yeah.
And you can become Gonzo and be hated by everybody.
True.
Bingo.
Quickly.
If you don't play your cards right.
You can be hated. You don't even have your team on your side.
that's right.
Your team hates you automatically.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you're all right, Gonzo.
Hey, good luck, Gonzo.
Hey, by
Thinking
the way,
about you.
us saying we hope you're all right, Gonzo, just pissed off everybody.
That's right.
And that's what politics can do to you.
Exactly.
No way would I ever do that. This is the age, though, that I could. So congrats to anybody else to turn this age who might go on B.
Go get him.
Good luck out there.
Give him hell.
Let me know if you need anything. I'm going to be trying to build a stadium. All right, I'll see you guys in 4 with some phone calls on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. See you then.
During the halftime of a Colts game this year, you have to kick a 35-yard field goal and then complete a 35-yard touchdown pass to Reggie Wayne in the end zone. And if you complete this duo event, we have $1 million for Kick the Stigma charity, $1 million for IU Cancer, and $1 million for the charity of your choice. But no failings out there, young men. The crowd will be there. The pressure will be there. You miss, they'll be talking Vanderjack. You miss that. We're going to do this if you accept.
Yes, I accept. What are we even saying? I would be honored to do that. I appreciate that. $3 million on the line. I mean, that's a big time kick.
I know.
Steven in Nashville enough. What's going on, Steven?
Hey, hello? Pat? You guys can hear me?
This is the worst call we've ever had, Steven.
My God.
So mean.
Steven.
Hello?
Steven,
Yeah.
it's the worst call we've ever had. So much dead air there.
Yo, Pat, can you hear me?
Yeah, keep it going.
Hello?
Know what you say?
I was going to hit him again.
What?
Yo, Pat.
No,
Pat? Pat. Hey, Pat, can you hear me?
Steven does not deserve this. Steven, what's going on, dude? How's going on, Steven?
Sorry, your phone was
Yo,
chopping.
Pat McAfee, can you hear me?
Steven, you there?
Pat, can you hear me? Hello?
Is it a cup and a string?
Steven!
Yo, Pat. Pat, can you hear me? Hello?
Steve!
Pat!
Hey, there you are. Hey, what's
Hello?
going on, Steve? Hey, Steven, sorry about that. I think we're having connection issues. What's going on, man?
Hey, sorry, man. I didn't know if that was me or if you were trying to talk to another guy. And then I didn't hear you guys.
Steve!
Yeah. Hello?
Oh, we lost him again, I think. Shit.
Pat!
Can you?
No.
Pat, can you hear me?
Steve, hey, Steve, there you are, Steve. Give me-
Pat!
Steve.
Pat!
Hey.
Pat! Pat!
Steve.
Pat! Oh, can you hear me?
Steve.
Hey, are you guys messing around? Can you guys hear me?
Draft spectacular. Welcome back. We have Mike Rupp, Stanley Cup champion, joining us next hour.
Hell yeah.
We have Dana White joining us in the third hour. We have AJ Hawk joining us in about 10 minutes. And we just had a 20-minute conversation about trenbolone sandwiches.
Yes, we did.
Informative.
Obviously, the big news is Deandre Hopkins suspended for 6 days. We were bummed about it, especially for the Cardinals, because that team looks vastly different without Nuke than they do with Nuke. This obviously prompted the move to bring Hollywood Brown into the fifth largest city in America on draft night. I feel like Cardinals got a good deal, especially because they needed that.
Yeah, big
Cliff
time.
Kingsbury played it super cool, too cool almost. He didn't even let us know that was happening.
Yeah.
Huh. He didn't look
What's up
worried
with
at
that?
all.
Can't trust him.
That's because he's too cool looking.
I wonder if he knows, the schedule in the beginning might be a little easier than at the end.
You think Cliff knows that?
Maybe.
Well, Cliff knows you want to be playing your best football towards the end of the year.
That's right, but he did allude to it too. He was like, "We were a vastly different team when
did say
DeAndre wasn't on the field." Just kind of thinking back, he did say that.
And then what if he had to catch himself from saying, he's not going to be on the field the first 6 games.
And we're going to need Hollywood in the beginning.
You guys don't need to. You guys don't know this because this is happening. But behind the scenes, there's maybe a little bit more piece of information than just this. Huh? He's gone. He's our best player. Their offense changed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Big time.
Their team changed. The vibe changed. The culture changed. Everything. They lost to the Colts. The Colts had nobody on Christmas Day at home. They lost to the Colts. Colts had 15 players out with COVID.
The Lions kicked their ass. Best game of the year for the Lions.
Yeah.
Hey, how about the Lions? By the way,
They always play hard as well.
Big win.
I seen on ESPN that the Jets have moved past the Patriots in the AFC East.
That's right.
After that draft, Mel Kiper gave them an A, gave the Patriots C+. Mel Kiper, most accurate first round out of any of the projectors. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, and I was worried, and then I saw Connor Rogers of PFF, who I genuinely respect in his rankings, and he said the Jets got a lot of good players. So we'll see what happens, but, it's up to Mac. We'll be just fine.
Connor Rogers, by the way, batted 1,000 on
He
the
knows.
Jets.
Yeah.
dog.
So
Dog.
we'll see. Mac Jones is going to figure it out.
Let's go to Beth in Colorado. What's going on, Beth?
Hi, gentlemen.
Hi, Beth.
How you doing, Beth?
Gentlemen.
Just want to thank you for taking my call on the 5-Hour Energy phone line.
Oh, Beth, good plug.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Go to
Yeah.
5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order. Thank you,
go.
Beth. That was great.
And before I get to my point, is there any way that you guys can start putting on the SeatGeek ticker if somebody's wearing some funny clothing because they lost a bet?
Oh, we'll put that on there. We will
good
certainly put that
idea.
on there.
go.
We're going to be checking out the Met Gala here soon. There'll be a lot of funny clothing, I believe, whenever we start talking about that, Beth. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I've been watching you for a while. My husband watches you every day. He works from home, and I have to say you're one of the few shows he watches that actually entertains me as well.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Let's go, Beth.
Thank you,
Beth.
Beth.
Thank you, husband, Beth.
Yes, big shout out to
Mr.
all of you
Beth.
for that.
Augie?
Now, I wanted to thank you for saying be who you can afford to be. I know you get a lot, you get a lot of crap for turning down the contract and all that. You've definitely more than made that up with your FanDuel stuff.
Thank you. And also shout out to SeatGeek and Roman and 5.
Well, we've been with all of the don't want to cause any controversy about anything, but the COVID is around, and because of that, he was basically being forced by his company to get the jab, and he's a veteran, and he's taken all the jabs he wants to, and doesn't want anybody to tell him do this or else.
That's Augie.
So we sat down and we did the math, and we can afford to move to Colorado on our own land and grow weed and look at mountains for the rest of our lives.
Are you doing that now, or are you on your way to doing that, or have you already started?
We are currently in Colorado getting our building permits, and we have 8.8 acres out in the valley.
Woo!
We've sold our house.
Hell yeah.
We will be back in Indiana in a couple of weeks to visit with my parents for a while to say our goodbyes, and then we're moving out here for good. And when they decide to let him go for not coming into the office, and now they're telling him they want him to come into the office, but he hasn't had the jab, so it's asinine. It doesn't make
All right. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Beth.
I agree.
Beth.
You're here, Beth. You're here.
Hey, get no fucking jab.
All right.
Best caller yet.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Beth and Augie.
Thank you, Beth and Augie.
You never get confirmation on that.
All right. That is awesome, though.
Stay strong, Augie. All right. Getting no fucking jab, Tony.
All right, Augustine.
Half the CDC didn't get the fucking jab. It's not a different show.
All right. Let's get to a break. I do like the fact they did the math. They're like, fuck it. We can go to Colorado and just grow weed, can't we? Sell a little, maybe ounces or edibles or something like that.
Little market.
Let's go sell the house. Let's go build.
Is that
They're
easy?
building.
Yeah. You just go buy a house and start selling weed there?
I think they're building. Yeah, I don't know how easy it is to get the license to sell, but
sounds pretty.
They got to figure it out.
Yeah,
Especially a vet too. Probably get a
USAA.
Hopefully, probably if you want to. Not Gronk.
No,
not Gronk.
Hey, Gronk can't fucking get that.
Yeah,
Don't you love me, man?
He's number 87.
That's not an insurance policy number.
Gronk had a hell of a party this week.
He did. I saw him and Kelsey getting after it.
Oh yeah.
Appeared there's more than booze at that party.
Dude,
The video I was looking at.
Johnny was Depp there?
Well, I don't know if Johnny Depp made an appearance, but maybe the person that Jim Irsay referenced too, walking in the door, showed up in that place.
Yeah, possibly.
I can't seem to find Molly. Molly. I'm not saying by the boys there. I seen videos though of people at that place. They were having a good time.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Gronk Beach. Not once again. This is not the guys that were the Gronks or the. I'm talking about videos from the party.
Yeah,
right.
People were having a blast at Gronk Beach.
Yes, they were.
It appears as if it is a blast. Yeah, mix in waters when you go to Gronk Beach and have the time of your life. We'll be back in about 3 minutes with AJ Hawk. Congrats to Beth and Augie getting her land. We'll see you guys in 3. Cheers. I have a surprise, obviously. That's what this show is all about. We have boots on the ground in Cleveland, who I assume knew this was going to happen all along. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Cleveland, Mr. Jason Glazer. Your thoughts on Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, fine sir? Oh, there's a delay.
Well, first and foremost, Pat, I'd like to say, hey, listen, thanks for having me. Cleveland is beautiful this time of year. Granted, it does smell like a mixture of poop and diarrhea and sewage.
Jesus.
It doesn't smell great down here.
Jesus.
But I'll tell you what, 27 years in this thing, I fucking live for the draft. Love being down here. Love being into Cleveland. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, listen. What do you want me to say? I knew this 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I mean, do we need to do this whole fucking song and dance?
Okay.
I'll give you guys 1 through 32 if you want to know. You know, do you want to have fun?
That's nice.
You want to not know who's going? But yeah, I had this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm wondering is if the guy you had in your studio, Mad Mel Kiper. I know that sorry son of a bitch didn't have this 2 weeks ago.
Mike's not plugged in.
Whoa. Yes, I did. I actually just explained it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
No,
I
you
had
didn't.
this.
I did.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
no, you
I
didn't.
did. You
I
didn't.
had this.
I
I
did.
had
You
it.
didn't.
Trust me. Can
You
I
didn't.
talk for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine, yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
talk? Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, Kyle Pitts,
No, you didn't.
unbelievable talent.
No, you didn't. You didn't fucking
Yes,
have
I
it.
did.
No, you didn't. You're a bad sack of shit, Kiper. I know it. I looked at your mock draft.
Jason, please relax. Oh my God.
Jeez.
Had no idea it was going to get like that. Sorry about that, Mad Mel. Obviously, there's a little bit of content there. He's saying you don't know your ass for a fucking hole in the ground, though, Mad Mel. How do you feel about that from Jason Glazer live in Cleveland?
Well, classic move. You know, Glazer looks like he's getting ready to go to a goddamn titty bar or something like that. I mean, dress up, pal. It's the NFL draft. Look at me. I'm dressed to the nines. You know, you look like an asshole. I mean, get him out of here, can we? I mean, is he going to stick around? Can we get him the hell out of here?
I think, is his microphone still on? Jay, can you hear us? Jay, is everything good back there?
Listen, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to hang out with Dee Snider and Twisted Sister.
Are you serious? Okay, Jason, sorry. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, Jason Glazer.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. So this is called, could I be quarterback in the USFL basketball shot? Take one. You tell me.
Hell yeah.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show, Hour 2, on this Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. Shall commence immediately following the speech drop from Twine. There it was, here we go.
Yeah!
Shout out to the Toxic Table, always bring the energy and the absolute goodness at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor. At Tone Diggs, one half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys. Today, Tone Diggs and Boston Connor have joined an alliance in being two grade A dickheads with tinfoil caps on.
That's right. As usual.
Somebody just tweeted at the group because I believe you two are spinning up conspiracy bullshit
All
on
we
this
said,
program.
personal decisions. We ain't getting no fucking jab.
Yeah, we ain't spinning shit up. We just stand with Beth and Augie.
All right, listen.
Okay.
There's no reason to even dive into that, but I will let the person know that sent that tweet got a pretty good pop out of me and Ty. Pretty good pop out of me and Ty for the burial of those two over there.
Support the troops.
And by the way, they're
That's all I'm trying to do. Hey, okay. Support the goddamn troops.
Okay. They're growing weed out there in Colorado.
Yeah, that's right.
American dream.
8.8 acres down there in the valley, Beth said.
Yeah.
Good
They're
amount of
living the
acres.
dream. They looked into the bank and they said, you know what, fuck it. We don't even got to do this anymore.
go.
Let's go to Colorado and sell weed. Hey, congrats, Beth and Augie.
Thank you, Beth and Augie.
Fucking awesome.
Now, joining us is a man who we believe is on massive amounts of human growth hormone. We figured that out in the first hour as we were talking about the news that broke of Deandre Hopkins being suspended for 6 games because he somehow took a supplement or something that he did not know would fail a test that happened in November. Joining us now, an expert on all these things, ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, college football national champion, a man that ran a 4.4, jumped 40-some inches, played a massive amount of years in the NFL, never missed a game, even had torn pecs and calves, and just battled through. All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, A.J. Hawk. AJ, were you just eating HGH, dude?
So what'd you figure out in the first hour that you just told me?
Well, so this is what happened, AJ.
I was unable to see it. Unfortunately, a lot of times I do get to see at least a good chunk of it. I didn't see any of the first hour, so this should be fun.
I'm going to be honest, maybe our worst 22 minutes of ever recorded conversation. Very boring.
The first 22?
No, it was like the middle
22.
10 to
14 on.
10 to 32.
Started talking about DeAndre Hopkins, obviously suspended 6 games. He said he goes with a very holistic approach, so he was very surprised and shocked, basically, when a November test came back positive. That obviously led to me saying, well, that's a bummer, obviously, for Arizona. DeAndre, if he was actually surprised and he took a supplement, there was something in there that he didn't know that wasn't on the bottle. This is something that happens throughout the history of the NFL. A lot of guys say they didn't know, and honestly, I think a lot of guys don't know because there's no FDA real regulations on explaining what exactly is in every single supplement. Now, follow up, I've gotten a text from Alan Quay Shipley that basically said there are 2 stamps, I guess, that are on supplements that the NFL says is good. It's like a EGIS.
NSF certified used to be. I don't know if it still is.
NSF certified. You can also use an app called EGIS Shield that will tell you if it's certified for sport. And people that use supplements that aren't on there are really rolling the dice, is what AQ says, because the FDA doesn't go through it. But a lot of people say those supplements that aren't on that thing are the only ones that work. But then I was told by the training room, literally, if it works, you're probably not allowed to take it. That was kind of my entire process with being welcomed into the NFL performance-enhancing drugs situation. And then that led to a whole conversation about what guys do in other sports and the loops that people jump through to get this done. And then we landed on HGH and how that became something the NFL started testing for through blood, but there was no baseline. And we started listing off all the positives. And then we heard the negative, I guess, cancer goes. And then we went, oh, AJ Hawk takes HGH. So that is how we got to there. Now that we are here, do you have anything to comment on?
No, but when you do look at what it can do, it absolutely sounds like the fountain of youth. So I understand when guys were trying to get on it. Now, it is something I absolutely, in my future, the future looks bright for HGH. I don't know when that moment may come. I don't know. I need to talk to some doctors, but doesn't it sound like, oh, yeah, why shouldn't we all do this?
AJ, I was talking about how when that HGH not that long ago was just something that was kind of talked about as like a myth almost. Like I think the only people that knew about it were old, incredibly rich whites, right? And they were all just
actors. Actors have probably been on this game for a while that are cutting up for roles. Yeah.
Yes, this was something that was very exclusive for a long time. Even NFL guys, I don't think had heard about it because whenever it was getting introduced into the locker room, I guess like 10, 11, 12, 15 years ago, it was being chatted about as like, oh my God, this thing that's out there somewhere. And I remember saying alongside a lot of my teammates, like, hey, as soon as I retire, I'm fucking on that shit. Like, you hear this stuff, everything gets bigger, you get more agile, everything gets faster, you recover quicker, your mind's clearer, your eyes get better, they say. Your hand-eye coordination's better. Your cancer tumors do grow, though. All right, that is something, so you're going to have to go do that. I'm like, I'm getting on that thing as soon as I can. It's not that easy to find, I don't think, at this point. Honestly, I don't think it's that easy to find, but I've had the same conversation as you. Why aren't we all taking this? They can't, I don't think they can test for it. I honestly don't think they can test for it. Nobody's ever tested positive for it. And we might be in a generation where guys don't want to shoot themselves up with anything, but honestly, the HGH feels like the only answer if you're going to take something, not that you should. All the other stuff with supplements is very real, though. That's not FDA regulated, right?
No, supplements are not, but that's another whole can of worms you could open with Connor and Diggs if you want to talk about FDA regulating things. But when it comes to tainted supplements,
what was that? Hold on. What was that? The Oxy.
Dope sick,
yeah, dope sick.
Oxycontin, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The FDA fucking...
Yeah, they got it passed, and then that guy who worked for the FDA went to work.
Hey, they killed a lot of my friends, man. Just one of that, like, a lot of people I know that fucking thing did. But you're right. Let's assume they do more good than bad, though. Let's hope.
Yeah, but they I don't know when they came out with the websites and they said, hey, if you have something that you're questioning that you want to take, you got to call these people. They will let you know. Like, to certify something, it has to be made like in a facility that has never had a banned substance like made there. That's the thing. Like, they've had remnants. Oh, they didn't clean out their huge tubs. What they made before this batch of protein powder was banned if you're an NFL guy. So like things like that can happen. I don't think it happens real often. But yeah, it's just, I don't know how anyone really gets away with it in the NFL. I don't know what they're doing. HGH is a different story. Like, they started blood testing for it however many years ago. No one's ever been popped for it. Are they still even testing?
Hey, do you remember when they were trying to figure out if they could even test for it? The NFLPA was like, well, what's the baseline? What are you even testing off of? That was like a 2-year fight, I think, wasn't it? Do you remember that the same way as me?
It was a huge fight, yeah. And people were like, they're not taking blood from me. Like, I'm not doing that. And then they negotiated. They test a certain amount of people, like, per month or week. And I haven't heard anyone pop for it.
That's because I don't think...
There's no baseline.
And when will there ever, I mean...
So how do you know if it's, how does anyone know?
Bro, and why isn't everybody on HGH? Why isn't the whole world
I
just
guess
prescribed
if
HGH?
it makes everything grow, you don't want it to make your cancerous cells grow too, right?
Yeah, but could that have just been the thing they threw in on the end of it because everybody heard how good it was? It was like, yeah, but you could get cancer. You know, like, yeah, could get cancer
Let's get
regardless.
Dr. Drew on here.
Well, last time we had him on here, his entire fucking doctorate got questioned.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to have to make him at the beginning, if we do have him on again, I'm going to have to make him rattle off all of his degrees.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do the last time. And I felt like I was like trivializing him so much. Like, I am so sorry to be doing this to you, but like, you're an actual doctor, right?
Yeah, he loved that, actually. He was like, thank you for letting me at least lay out my accolades and degrees because people don't believe I'm a doctor.
And what were you, a supplement guy, though? You were a big supplement guy? You took pre-workout? Obviously, we saw you on that On It stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had to look into all of that, right?
Yeah, I was I never was like a crazy supplement guy. I went through like phases. In college, NO Explode made a good run. That was the pre-workout gold mine for a long time. Then I ended up quitting that during college.
That
Stuff
was
like
killing
has always
people,
been my
right?
thing.
NO Explode
What?
was killing people?
No, that was like the
Jack
whipped
3D.
fuel or different weird drinks were killing people too. It had what's it called? Ephedra. Ephedra got banned.
Yeah, ephedra was the only thing that was really working, right? That was the thing that people were actually losing weight and everything like that, but it was potentially killing you.
Blowing your heart up too.
What was it? Hydroxycut.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I used to go on a Hydroxycut 6-day cleanse, like
Really?
before training camp. Yeah, when I'd come back, I'd be like, all right, I'm going into isolation mode. And it was almost like 0 Brawn 30 does. I'm going into isolation mode. I'm taking Hydroxycut. Nobody called me. Nobody talked to me. I need to
Did
lose.
it work?
Yeah, every year. That's how I came back into camp. I mean, I think I started out seasons pretty well. I don't remember. But yeah, I had to stop taking it because it was doing something terrible to people. I guess everything does something terrible to people inevitably. But you're right. The NO Explode era was awesome. What was that next one? There was another one that came, like muscle.
There was a creatine era. Like creatine was right before NO Explode. I mean, I'm sure creatine's still big. I don't know. What'd you say? Muscle milk or whatever?
No, there was a red. Corey Gregory started it. What was
the red? Oh, the red tub was NO Explode.
Muscle Farm. Didn't Muscle Farm become a big deal?
They're black and yellow. They're like logo. Yeah, it's the Ohio dude.
Yes, that Ohio dude, but he sold it, I think. Remember, it took over there for like 2-3 years. And I think that was a bunch of pre-workout that people were taking.
But John Jones was sponsored by Muscle Farm and kept testing positive.
Oh, okay.
So what are you saying?
Muscle Farm got a bad name for a bit because of that.
Dude, the supplement.
Or it makes it better because if I'm Bill casual fan watching, and I have a normal job, and I hear John Jones test positive and say, "Oh man, these Muscle Farm has banned substances," I'd say, "Yes, this may work for me."
AJ, let's just say you have had friends that have tried banned supplements.
Okay.
Have you?
Have I had friends? You mean like while playing in the NFL?
Just people that you know.
In general.
I definitely have. There's definitely people that I have suspected for sure, and I've seen guys have weird injuries as well at times when I've suspected things and them doing stuff and talked to different coaches and strength coaches about it. Yeah, I think it's a tough world to jump into, man. There's no, as Tim Ferriss says, there's no biological free rides. Like there's consequences for everything you do.
Yeah, there is always a ripple effect. And, you know, the injuries do become a bit more catastrophic when guys are on stuff. Entire muscles just pop off. And it's like, all right, we have to rebuild an entire thing. I was telling the boys earlier, it wasn't like an open conversation in the locker room, I don't think. I wasn't a part of anywhere. Anybody, like in the NFL, it is not a cool thing to be somebody that's on PEDs. Like in the NFL, it's not considered a cool thing.
I don't know anybody. I don't know one player. I played 11 years. I never heard anyone even talk about in a serious manner they were taking something. They would joke
Agreed.
about, oh yeah, you're juicing, like talking to people. No one ever like sat around. Oh man, I gotta like. What would you even say? I can't imagine any locker room where that would happen.
And what's that movie? The program.
Program, yeah.
The program, I guess, painted an image, obviously, that it's potentially like that. And then I think people saw that the MLB was like that. And then you see the NFL guys are bigger, stronger, faster, and they hit people. I think people assume that it's a little bit like more into the culture and everything. It is, in my experience, it was not. Now, granted, there were people definitely on shit. Like we assumed people were on
People assume everybody in the NFL is. I've said this to you before. Like people that watch the NFL, they assume 100% of the players, or maybe, well, they probably think a couple kickers are not on stuff. Like they just assume everybody's doing it.
What's that about?
Well, I wasn't one of them. Go ahead, Connor.
Wasn't it a Packers like number 1 overall pick lineman? I feel like that's the only one I can like.
Tony
specifically-
Mandrick?
Tony Mandrick.
Yeah, that was doing it, but it was completely alone. He was like in the bathroom before.
Did he end up a Colt?
practices.
Was he a Colt at some point?
Yeah.
Drafted by.
He played pretty well for the Colts.
Yeah, I think he's like he's been around for the Colts. I've seen him in the locker room, I think, as a Colt, as a member of the Colts.
It's like a 30 for 30. That's the only reason I know anything about it because he
was also on pills.
Yeah,
too.
he was
on everything.
addicted to Oxycontin. And
I think the most recent person, and I assume this guy's a really good guy. I only got a chance to meet him one time. Like Cushing was almost right. Cushing was talked about. As
He had a couple times he had to sit out some games, I think.
Yeah, but now he's a strength coach though.
Yeah, I mean, he's a monster. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast. I've told the story before. The punter that filled in for me the night that I was suspended after my alleged event that led me into that 207 different things, he killed that man. I mean, that dude punted one, and he was jogging down to like do a fake cover and Cushing. I mean, a good 50-yard lead up.
You're not allowed to do that anymore, are you?
Nah, punter is not. He's a what's that called? Protected. Mm-hmm. Protect defenseless, the punter. Yeah, I think that was potentially on the punters. Well, it's against the Browns there. But I think he had the same look on the punter that particular evening. That guy was dead. They had to shoot him up at halftime, I believe. He was not necessarily looking forward to get back out onto the field. He had to kick off too. Wasn't a natural kickoff guy. I think he was not necessarily thrilled to be there. And I was sitting at home watching in my living room. I'm like, well, thank fucking God Cushing didn't do that. Thank God. I was very appreciative of that. He was an animal, though. There's not a lot of other guys, though, around the NFL.
No, I mean, back in the day, they used to not. I think early 90s, I talked to a lot of guys that played that were coaching, and they were like, if they had it, I took it. That's what they would tell me. They said they didn't test for it.
Who was that?
Late 80s, I think it was. Different. I think we
know who that was.
Heard his voice. Rest in peace, by the way.
No. That was not KG. I would have gone full KG voice if I did. A lot of big meatball linemen because they said, hey, all the D linemen are jacked up. They're monsters. Like, I got to do something.
Man, that's a different era now. I think this younger generation's not taking anything. I think they don't want it. I think they're avocado.
They just have too many coaches surrounding them on their outside. They have a chiropractor, my life coach, my mental coach, my brand manager, my assistant. Like that's the biggest problem now, probably.
Yeah, steroids would take out at least 4 or 5 of them. Chiropractor gone.
Yep,
the psychologist gone.
Don't need
spiritual
guy.
Spiritual.
Don't need him.
I think this is a little bit more healthy, honestly, but there is a lot of voices around people. It seems like a lot of voices around people. Everybody's
especially now. Think of the NIL stuff. Like people I know high school kids can get paid in Ohio now.
I am so pumped up for these kids in college right now. Somebody tweeted draft night.
Jonathan Jones
tweeted, "Ain't none of these kids crying. Ain't none of them crying. They're all losing money from these NIL deals coming into the draft." You know, it used to be like you get drafted, oh my God, not only are my dreams coming true, I get to play professional football, but also money is finally coming, or a sense of money, great money is coming to my family. He said, none of these dudes are crying because there's multi-million-dollar offers going out to guys right now. I am so fucking pumped for them. This kid Addison out of University of Pittsburgh just won the Blitnikoff or whatever, is the best wide receiver in football with Kenny Pickett throwing him to rock all season long. He entered the transfer portal, allegedly Colin Cowherd, shout out to Colin Cowherd, via Tim Cates here, shout out to Tim Cates. He's being offered like $3 million to go to USC with Lincoln Riley. So this dude is in Pittsburgh, winning the Blitnikoff, having the best year of any wide receiver or whatever, absolute stud. Kenny Pickett goes. He no longer has his quarterback, and now he potentially gets $3 million to go live in Los Angeles, where all the stars are with Lincoln Riley, and that offense is going to be wide open, and he's becoming a multimillionaire. Get the fuck, I'm fucking out of there. I am out of there. I know, I assume Pitt tried to match at least a little bit of this, but if this is happening for Mr. Addison, congrats to him.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine what's happening to quarterbacks that are absolute studs.
Yeah.
Pat Narduzzi's not happy about this. He called Lincoln and he said, hey, Lincoln, I know we got your quarterback starting for us now, okay? I know that we're using USC starter last year for this, but this is a little tampering. Ain't you fucking tampering with my guys, offering them $3 million, Lincoln? $3 million is probably what Narduzzi's saying. And Lincoln's like, you just fucking wait. Did you see the academic scandals? You know how much money some of these boosters are paying for get their dumbass kids into our school? You know how much they're going to pay to get fucking players into the school? We got $5 million signing bonuses on goddamn deck, Narduzzi. USC's coming back. The Trojans are filling up the fucking Coliseum, so why don't you eat shit? And Addison looked at Coach Narduzzi. He's like, he's right.
He's making good points.
Right. And with that being said, I'd like $3.5 million, and I am on my way to LA to go amongst the human feces in the great fucking USC football. I mean, good for him. Good for these dudes. That's a lot of money, though.
That's a ton of money. I wasn't thinking about the transfer portal like this, where you can recruit guys the way that were. Oh, hey, I was the best receiver in all of college football, and I'm going to transfer and get a $3 to $3.5 million bonus. Like, that's crazy,
dude. I'm hitting the streets. If I am a sophomore, stud,
free agency.
Oh,
that's what it is.
Hey, I might come back. Hey, listen, man, you get your chance. I'm going to. Old heads, old whites are going to hate this. Oh. My God, are people going to hate this? And there's going to be a lot of players that are going to think they'll go in the transfer portal and $3 million will be there for them, and there won't be. Hey, nobody cares about you.
Most people, it's not going to be there.
Yes, that's going to happen, which is going to cause a lot of problems and development and growth of teams, because somebody who thinks they're a starter but they're a backup will never really get calloused enough to have to work through being a backup and going through the whole process, and that might make them even better. So there are a lot of downsides to the transfer portal, but if guys are hopping in there and getting $3 million offers, fucking more power to them.
Man, this feels like almost like the NFL with Florida and California, where it's like, okay, yeah, you could play at Pitt, but you could also go down to Miami, get paid probably either the same, most likely more money than you would be getting paid in Pitt, and you live in fucking Miami. And it's the same exact thing with LA. Like, remember when Caleb Williams during right after the college football season, I think it was like Eastern Michigan or something, they're like, hey, we'll give you $1 million right now if you come play. Yeah, Chuck Batch, that's who it was. It was like, hey, we'll give you $1 million to come be the quarterback at Eastern Michigan.
And Lincoln Riley said, Caleb, don't you fucking sign anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to USC and go. Here's the documentary you need to watch. Okay, these rich USC folks were having their dumb fucking kids do photo shoots in the pool to act like they were fucking polo players. You are going to be able to get paid whatever you want to come to USC, and that probably happened.
It did.
We did not disclose his contract details. Let's assume he's got escalators in there to make $5-10 million at USC next year.
Well, I also remember there was a video of him walking in and like gifting the entire USC men's basketball team with like Beats, because he's also like a Beats athlete. Like he just, so I mean, like, yeah, he's getting paid a decent amount.
Man, I am pumped for these kids. Unreal. There's going to be ripple effects. Something bad's going to come from all of this, obviously. And we'll watch it. We'll keep it around. AJ Hawk would have got so much money.
Oh my God.
You would have been so rich, so young. You would have been awesome. You'd been on all the HGH by like 19.
How much is Bob's company giving out? How much is Bob's HVAC company giving out?
Is that what that is? Is that a cover, a front for him to pay kids?
His HVAC? Oh man, I don't know, but I'm sure. Yeah, wouldn't you recruit a couple current players to come out there and stand by the van and do a little marketing?
Yeah. If you want your fucking heating done right here in fucking Columbus, CJ Stroud said this is the company. Absolutely.
I don't know. It might cost a lot to get CJ Stroud right now.
Well, C&J, basement, they're going to cost a lot too, but they will save you thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Joining us now.
Quality work.
They need to get in on the Ohio State recruiting NIL train. Joining us now is a man who's from the state of Ohio. He's a Stanley Cup champion, so obviously this conversation will veer into the most electrifying playoffs in all of sport, which is the NHL playoffs. He works for the NHL Network and also co-host of That's Hockey Talk every Wednesday night at youtube.com/That's Hockey Talk with Nick and Bubba Gumpino. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Rupper.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
Look at that view, Rupp. Look
nice,
at
right?
That's
nice view out here. Out here for Game 1, covering Game 1. Penguins, Rangers in New York tonight. So got down here. We got a nice shot of one of the many bridges down here. Beautiful city. Yeah, look at that. Perfect.
Most bridges in any city in the world, 146 of them to be exact. 446 of them to be exact. That water ain't moving. That's a picture.
Whoa.
What?
Is that live?
It's moving. I can see it.
That's live, man. That's live, yeah.
There's people walking.
Yeah. This is a real deal. Real deal here today for you guys, so it's nice.
Is it?
Hey, thank you.
Take a good look, Pat. Let's take some time to figure it out.
We try,
Well, Rupp told us he was going to be, hey, I'm going to have a great backdrop, he said. He said he's going to have a river. I'm excited about it. I thought he just went in front of a picture somewhere. Hey, thank you for giving us this beautiful shot. Let's go. The NHL playoffs are taking place. Sidney Crosby, the GOAT, and the Bread Man each going to score a point tonight. That's a super boost right now on FanDuel.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about it? What teams are getting hot? Who's the wagon? What should we be looking for, Rupper?
Yeah, I like that boost. I like that a lot. There's been those guys are always going to chip in and get some goals here, and both teams rely on them. Teams that are hot right now, man, it's tough. I mean, you got the big dogs that we've been talking about all year. the Florida Panthers, the Colorado Avalanche, but I mean, we're seeing pretty early on in these playoffs that it's a whole new season, man. Anything can happen in these games. So, I think that the hottest teams kind of coming in. I mean, the Minnesota Wild have been unbelievable. They got torched last night by St. Louis. So I don't know if that gave them any momentum going into the playoffs, but we had game ones of all 4 of the series last night, and we got game ones of the other 4 series tonight. So it's going to be good, man. I think this is best time of year, and it started off with some fireworks last night. There was some rough play, and the games were kind of all blowouts, though. Nothing really crazy, but I would expect different moving forward here.
Hey, Rupp, when I was a rookie in the NFL preseason, I was like, oh, my God, this is a fast game. This is a fast game. I was kicking off, and people were running around me at a high speed, much faster than it was in college. Then we got to the regular season. Whoa, got a little faster. Holy shit.
Yeah.
We got to the playoffs. Okay, somehow everything's faster, the collisions are bigger. And then I was lucky enough to play in the Super Bowl, and I thought I seen 4 Camrys hit 4 Camrys. I mean, people were fucking wide open. The NHL playoffs seem to be much faster than the regular season. Although the regular season is electrifying, the NHL playoffs always seem to have electricity in it. It was blowouts, but you're saying there's fights are flying around. Is that a known thing? You're a Stanley Cup champ. You've been around the playoffs a lot. Is it like, hey, okay, now everything heightens, everybody goes faster? What is it about the playoffs you think that makes everybody better?
It's so weird too, because I think you guys would agree with the same thing. Like in the regular season, you're not sitting there, you're not putting yourself on you're not sitting there saying, well, I'm gonna hold back. Like, you feel like you're fucking going all in, right? And I don't know what it is. All of a sudden you turn that page into playoffs and it's a different level, man. Like, you're sitting there, you're seeing guys play. I mean, in my years playing, I seen some guys playing through some shit. There's a picture of John Madden, the hockey player. If you look him up, I guarantee you one of the pictures, he had like a skate cut, like a big C right around his cheek or his eye, and it was just stitches everywhere, guys, broken bones, and I don't know, it just kind of gets that out of you, right? It's like a different feel. The other thing too, I think some fans have issues with it, but I love it because I think that's what the playoffs are all about. It's like, even if you took a picture of a guy in training camp, guys who come into training camp fucking jacked. But after the playoffs, you look at them, they got their cheeks sunken in. They look like they lost 30 pounds. Like, it's just hanging on for dear life. And the rules are a little bit different. And some fans don't like that. But, maybe some things that would be called penalties in the regular season aren't going to be called in the playoffs. The referees don't want to make the decisions in the game that are going to decide.
Here we
go. Yeah, let the boys play a little bit. So some people get pissed about that because you're going to sit there and be like, all right, player X had fucking 130 points this year, and now in the playoffs he's not on the score sheet. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm being partial, because it would even the playing field for guys like me, right? So we can go out there and be difference makers. And it's about, what are you going to do to fight through this shit to still score goals? It's not going to be easy. So I don't know. That's the one thing that always stuck with me in the playoffs. You thought you were already at your highest gear, and somehow, some way, shape, or form, you find another one, and it's incredible.
It's men's hockey up there.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Rupper, why are there different rules for the playoffs, and what are those rules, and like, when did they put those in play?
It's just like the ticky-tacky stuff. In the regular season, like, you might sit there and, I don't know, maybe...
Is this like in the rule book, or is this unwritten rules?
No. Same rules.
AJ.
Same rules, just enforced.
AJ.
Just enforced.
We got different rules of playoff overtime. Sorry, Pat, in the NFL.
Oh, jeez.
I know what you're saying, but it's
Talk
like...
about John Hammond's dong then.
This
What
guy.
the hell?
If I can't ask a legit question to a legit hockey champion, sorry, Pat.
Champion.
So no, it's like they're not enforced the same way. We don't want fucking 9 power plays in the playoffs. We don't want it decided by special teams. So you're gonna sit there, you get away a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, you can kind of lay it into guys a little bit more. After whistles, getting the scrums a little bit more. You could just make life miserable for everybody. So I think that's kind of the way this sport has always been played. And there's obviously a group that wants to change that. And we don't want to take away skill. I want to see goals. That's what everybody goes for goals. But we also want to see it's hockey. And I would say the same thing probably as a viewer of football. I want to see football played.
Yeah.
Don't make this all ticky-tacky. Like, if you can't deal with getting hit at a high speed, hockey might not be your game.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
See
so
ya.
it's that's something that just kind of goes back, and I think that goes into the whole playoff beers. Guys are growing their beards. My favorite time of the year, which is kind of weird to say, is when the playoffs are all done and a team hoists the cup. Then you start seeing, or even when teams get eliminated in the playoffs, you start getting, all right, their exit meetings, whatever. And this is what the player was dealing with. You remember a few years back, Connor, you remember this shit. Remember Patrice Bergeron? Yep. Back when they won the cup or when they were going to finals. Like, this guy had like a fucking punctured lung, broken rib, broken foot. He had like a sprained knee. Like, the guy, you wouldn't even notice. He was unbelievable. So you see some of those things. I think it just makes everyone, like, you come together and you're tight as a group because you got to fucking, kind of gut through it together.
And we hope Ben Simmons can obviously get back on the court.
Yeah.
Right. Good transition there. Good transition there by you, AJ, bringing up the big dong man. John Hamm actually said on That's Hockey Talk, he said, in the playoffs, the big teams, nobody wants to stop the big boys. St. Louis is a big team. And it's talking about what you're talking about right now, the style of play. Also Tampa, big team.
Yeah.
Those big boys really start to become a lot more powerful in the playoffs because they're letting things go. Is the NHL the best officiated game in the world, you think? I believe it is, just because the way the refs do, acknowledge it's like, hey, we're going to let you boys play a little bit more tonight. And they'll talk shit with players. They'll say, hey, we got to make up for a call that we fucked up earlier. It almost feels like they're the most human out of all the other officials. Am I wrong in thinking that? Do you guys hate them inside the sport of the hockey?
I would say that most guys say the officiating is fucking terrible. You know what I mean?
All right,
I mean, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying as a player on the ice, you're always going to bitch about the way things are being called. I actually think, and I'm now that I'm done playing, these guys, dude, it's a fast game. They're doing their best. If you give me someone who could do it better. There's going to be human mistake in this game, in every sport. I don't want to see video replay on every single thing, right? So I think it's done good. The biggest problem that we kind of have, and you could probably blanket that with any sport, is you just want consistency as a player, right? So when I start a playoff series, generally speaking, we should have the same referee crew the entire series. I got to know. It's like a strike zone in baseball. What's he calling? Is he calling something off the plate a little bit, or is he, where's this at? So you test him in game one, and you kind of get out there. And let's say even as a net front presence, I'm in front of the goalie. I'm supposed to take away his eyes, right? So I'm in there, and I'm supposed to stay outside the blue paint, right? So I'm supposed to stay outside the crease. Well, fuck, if I'm doing my job, I'm getting in the blue paint. Just like that.
Sorry about
you got to
it.
block the goalie.
You
got to mirror the puck. Take the goalie's eyes away. So know what you're going to do, Pat? You back up. So the goalie's behind you. When you back up, he has to back up. When the goalie backs up, you back up. Look how much more room you can see behind me. That's the net, right? So I want the goalie to go back. Well, you're going to have a ref there. It's like, Rupper, get out of the blue paint. Rupper, oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Next time down, plant myself there again. I'm going to see where my threshold is, and I know what I can get away with. It's the same thing with hits, scrums after whistles. You push the envelope. The referees give you a warning. Maybe you push a little bit more, and then you realize, all right, this is where it's at here. So, but there were a lot of penalties called last night. I didn't love last night's flow to the games. So, but they probably just want to set that standard early and hope the guys will follow.
So your spine just eats sticks while you're doing the sorry about it? Is that what happens? You're just eating a stick the entire time? Sorry about it?
Dude, it used to be way worse. So we used to, we had Chris Pronger on That's Hockey Talk a couple weeks ago, and and he was
he knows dirty.
Pronger's
dude, one of the dirtiest fuckers that ever played the game. What
did he say on That's Hockey Talk? I just want people to
everything.
I don't want to be consistent. He said I want people to be surprised by my next move or something like that. And it was like, well, you did.
Like fucking knock your teeth out.
Dude, have you guys ever seen in the All-Star game in LA a few years ago? They had a celebrity game. Prongs played in the game. Justin Bieber played in the game. Do you guys remember this picture? He fucking flattened Justin Bieber against the glass. And there's a picture. Bieber's face up against the glass. It was unbelievable. If you guys can pull that at some point, it's incredible. So that's Chris Pronger. He just likes to be an asshole, you know?
He's just a loose cannon.
Yep. Yeah, just a loose cannon. So, but here's the thing. So it's changed a little bit. In regards, it's not as hard to go. It's still a hard thing to do to go in front of the net and get rewarded and scoring goals. You're gonna have to pay a price. Sticks in the back of the spine, like you said. You're gonna get whacks, but it's not like the way it used to be. The way it used to be is you'd want to get close to the defenseman, because if you were too far away from the defenseman, like stick lengths away, they're watching the play on one side and they're just taking their stick and swinging it trying to find you. So that's like that's their field, that's their hands, right? That's their reach. They're looking this way and they're fucking swinging, baseball swinging that way. If you're standing in front of the net and you're just getting two-handed across the ankles, across the wrists, like fuck, man. Like, so I want the guy close to me. Back then, man, it used to be tough. You get done playing, you'd have big, you couldn't even move your wrist back because your forearm had a big welt on it. It was tough times, but it's changed a little bit.
Hockey's so tough, dude. Hockey's so tough, and Bieber knew that whenever he signed up to play that.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yes. Look at Prong's face too.
Look how happy he is.
What an asshole, man. Look at that. Beeb's chin right up against the glass. That's incredible.
Bro, Beebs had a concert. Yeah, he had a concert that night.
Come on.
It's unbelievable. They had to go with MGK.
That's right.
Go ahead, Ty. Jeez.
Rupper, I've already denounced the Golden Knights because they absolutely stink and they broke my heart by not making the playoffs this year. Two-part question here. Are they going to just fucking stink forever now? That's what a lot of people are saying. And if you're a prospective hockey fan who doesn't have a team going into the Stanley Cup playoffs, which team would you circle and say, hey, this is the wagon you want to jump on?
Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh Penguins.
I like that one. So if Vegas was going into the playoffs, if they made it, they're a great team to follow, man. That's a great organization to follow. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Vegas and Vegas's future. Vegas was a team that came out as expansion. The rules were changed a little bit as far as the expansion draft. They took full advantage. They kind of held every other GM hostage, and they took full advantage of everything. So they went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and it's been funny though because I think because they've experienced a really good team every year. This is the first year they have not made the playoffs. Every other fan base despises them. Like they don't have to go through the pain. They don't have to.
Used to love that.
It's like they're kind of like the heels of the NHL now. Everybody hates them. And they're kind of like the New York Yankees where they're going. I mean, this year they were like $15 million over the salary cap, which everybody was having. They found a loophole and found ways to put guys on the LTIR. And so people just hate them, right? The owner is great. Unbelievable. If anybody gets out there to Vegas, check it out. Like world-class show they put on. Fans are really loud, crazy. Angel. The problem with Vegas has kind of been in the last couple years is like their management of personnel hasn't been great. So they've gone out, they've bought the big expensive shiny objects, but they've lost a lot of character guys in their room. I don't know where it goes from here with Vegas. They're
dead. They stink. Yikes!
They're going to run it back with the same squad next year. They have to because of contracts, and they should be a playoff team. But honestly, Ty, like I think it's going to have the reverse effect. Instead of like an expansion team coming in and sucking and getting better each year, I think Vegas came in so high, and now we're just going to kind of keep seeing them kind of step down.
It's over. Maybe Stoner will play in more than 12 games next year.
Hey, this is
a fun team to watch here in the playoffs.
Maybe they'll do Zambelli fireworks every game. That's what people will start doing.
What did you say? Zamboni fireworks?
Zambelli fireworks.
Zambelli, dude. Although
Zamboni fireworks is a good idea. They're going to have to keep people coming to those games in Vegas. If they stink, people are going to stop coming to those. Ty's no longer a fan. They're going to have to up those shows.
No, they'll be good. Next year's their year. They'll tell a lot. They'll have a good shot at doing something next year. But then after that, I don't know. Yeah, I know. They need more from Jackie Aces, man.
Goddamn right.
Listen, I got it. You got neck surgery, all right? But we got to start seeing some fucking goals too, right?
Whoa. Thank you.
I know, but the team to watch, fun team to watch. I don't know how long they'll last. Florida Panthers, man. They score a shit ton of goals. They're a scrappy team. They've got a lot of pieces there. So I would, if I was a fan that this team didn't make it in, I'd jump in that bandwagon.
There you go, Foxy. That could be you. It's 10 years too, because the Red Wings ain't ever going to have that, Connor.
Yeah, Robert. What the fuck happened to the Bruins last night? I mean, they didn't have any cement in their skates coming out, but I was basically playing fucking tendy. Are they gonna get swept by the fucking Hurricanes or what?
Dude, one of your colleagues, one of the massholes out there, came at me on Twitter the other day.
Good.
It was like I just put a tweet out there, just kind of stating, going over a couple of the series. So this season there was 3 games between the Bruins and the Hurricanes. Okay, and the score differential in those 3 games was 16-1 for Carolina. So I just simply said, like, I don't think that's going to cut it, And this Bruins fan comes back at me and it's like, well, we were without Brad Marchand and Patrice Bergeron for the one game.
Yeah.
We were, that was the one game Tuukka Rask played, and the other
Sure, they
game
had a full roster.
Rask
and he was
retired.
giving me all these excuses. I'm like, all right, dude, 16-1, still 16-1. So if you want, like, what would you like? Can we shave off 5 goals? Like, let's just say 5 goals. Fucking 11-1's not very good. like what are we
Got
doing?
rid of 5 bells.
I love passionate fans, but they got to be fucking real at some point.
Yeah.
Like they dominated them. So
You guys fucking stink.
Yeah. So,
No.
anyways, no. To answer your
said
question,
yeah.
I think Boston will have a pushback. I think that, and I don't know how that works, and I don't know how you guys were in your profession too. Like in hockey, when a team owns you all season long. So there's 2 situations this happened with in Game 1 yesterday. So you've had Carolina owning Boston all season. And you had the St. Louis Blues owning the Minnesota Wild all season. Okay? So now it's like, yeah, of course, I'm picking those teams to win in the first round, but we sit there, a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't matter. It's a new season. It's a new time. It's new this. Okay, but when I played and that was a situation, we want to say, what the fuck are we supposed to say as a player? Like before the playoffs, oh, is it on your mind that these guys punted you every time you played them this year? Like you might be, you're sitting there like, what do you want you to say? Yeah, man, we're done. So you're going to say, no, you know what? We're going to learn from it. We're going to be different here and whatever. So you say those things. But I've been in that position and you're in the playoffs and you're trying to fight against it mentally. No, it's different. We're going to this is perfect, right where we want them. And then you get out in Game 1 and you see the same shit happening again. Oh, no. Like it's a punch in the face. So I'm interested to see how they respond. But I think Boston will make it a series. I don't think they'll roll over in this one.
How did St. Louis do? Because they got killed by Minnesota. Did they? Who won?
No, St. Louis killed Minnesota, and in Minnesota only lost. Out of the 41 games at home, I think they lost 7 this year at home.
So
and St. Louis went in there and dominated. Man, they looked really, really good. Flower
St. Louis.
Flower did not play.
Flower got the start. He wasn't in a position to go for a goal. That's on his mind, courtesy of you. So that wasn't the situation last night. I would hope that you get another crack at Game 2. Game 2, it's probably going to be Flower, but the Wild, they didn't look very good in that one.
Well, that's because the Blues are tough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're
Unfortunately, Pat, what we're up here saying here is not very good news for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Why
is that?
Well, it's split. No, because the Bruins stunk all season. They stunk last night. St. Louis Blues stunk all season. They were great last night. It's different. Those are 2 different outcomes. That's what he was talking about. That was his entire point, right?
I thought he said that the Blues dominated.
No. It was the same outcome. So my thing was you're trying to fight against it
tonight, dude.
You're trying to
tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, you're trying to fight against it, and the same shit happens. Like AJ, when you're playing. And you're playing against a team in your division.
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah, like okay. Say Adrian Peterson dominates you, puts up 5 touchdowns in 2 games, and the offense dominates. Like, and you're playing them in the playoffs. Like, you want to think different, but at the end of the day, like it just takes one play again of them smashing you in the mouth, and you're like, holy shit, here we go again, right?
Suck again.
Yeah, you better get out to a fast start. You better jump on them quick. You're right, because then all of a sudden one play happens and you can kind of. There's a feel that goes through the crowd and I think the team too. It kind of sucks.
Well, not just on the losing side, on the winning side too. It's like, we're doing this again.
Yeah.
This is happening again, and then things start rolling. Big Mo almost shows up in a quicker fashion, and the Pens have gotten murdered by the Rangers this season. We got a new goalie though. Best goalie of all time, Casey DeSmith.
I thought it was Louis Domingue last week.
We're out on Louis.
He's playing left wing.
Gumpy, you were going big on Louis Domingue.
Big Dick
right?
Domingue, he'll be in there at some point.
No, he won't. Casey DeSmith's putting a shot.
Penguins are winning tonight. I don't know what you guys are worried about.
I agree.
You know what?
I agree.
You know what?
I agree.
That's a good call, Gumps. I think that I think this is a team. I don't have them. I don't know if I'm sitting here doing the game in lovely Pittsburgh, and I simply at this point I don't have a good feeling. I don't think they're going to win the first round. But this is a perfect spot, right? It's a win-win. So if they win, I feel good. I don't care that I was wrong, right? So, but here's the thing. Casey DeSmith is he's not the starter. Tristan Jarry's the man, right? And so everybody, when Tristan Jarry went down, you're like, oh, these guys are done. I thought the same thing. And I saw this stat the other day. It was interesting. When you go back to the Cup years of the Penguins, So you cup years and even this year with Tristan Jarry, you have in 2016 numbers of Flower and Matt Murray in 16 and 17.
Murray.
And you take Tristan Jarry's numbers this year, and this year he was an all-star. He was awesome. You take their season numbers. I think the save percentage is anywhere range probably from like a 9.15 or 9.14 save percentage. Pretty good. Casey DeSmith's at a 9.14 save percentage. It's not like
9.14.
It's not like this guy. It's not like this guy's coming in like sub. As a goalie. When you're looking at those numbers, you're like, anything in the NHL, you should not be a starter if you're under 9.1, like 9.10 save percentage and above. You should be up if you're a good starter, right? If you're below 90, you probably shouldn't be in the fucking league. You know what I mean? But his numbers are good, man. They're just as good as those guys when they won before. So I don't know if Casey DeSmith is going to be the story. I think it's going to be, can they solve the other team's goalie? Because that's been the best goalie in the NHL for the Rangers, Igor Shesterkin.
What's his? What's Igor Shesterkin?
Igor Shesterkin.
Augie? Is it Augie? Augie, is it?
Give it one more shot, Pat.
Igor Shesterkin.
Yeah, that's good.
What is Igor Shesterkin's save percentage? 0.915?
No, he's I think on the year he's pushing 9.3 something.
Jeez Louise! We are fucked! Pucks on net, dude!
Absolutely!
We need numbers, we need quantity!
Pucks on net! Pucks on net!
Boys got a
Igor!
Put it in the mixer.
Bro, we need 100 shots tonight!
Man in front! Man in front!
Here's the other thing, though. You remember this, though. This is kind of a bit of an X factor, I think, because I know I'd be pissed if I was on the Penguins. So Shesterkin's going to win the Vezina for best goaltender of the year. Remember the last time these fucking guys, Nicky? Remember the last time these guys played, and there was another game of the Rangers spanking the Penguins. And Shesterkin, there was a scrum at the end of the game. Kenny Malkin's in there, Jake Gensel's in there, and everybody, the whole team had like a bench clear argument at the red line. No fight, but shoving and whatever. And this kid, who is second year in the league, the goaltender, Igor Shesterkin, does this to the Pens. He's like waving
Igor
bye-bye.
Shesterkin?
Yeah.
This motherfucker!
Yeah, we remember, Rupp.
He needs to eat some fucking pucks tonight, boys!
Igor needs to remember this ain't the KHL playoffs, okay? This ain't Moscow. This is the big time now, okay?
Fucking
Front of the net!
We'll see how he handles it.
Pucks the fucking teeth tonight, boys!
You don't got the KGB behind you here, bud.
Hell
this
yeah.
is the National Hockey League.
Listen,
Let's go.
Igor Sikorskin, welcome to the fucking Sidney Crosby show, pal. All right, look up gifs of Sid. All of them are him lifting Lord Stanley.
Hell yeah.
You have no fucking idea what you're facing tonight, Sikorskin. I'm fucking sick of this guy. I'm sick of this guy. Second year in the league waving on our team, Igor. 93% save percentage. This fucking guy. We need shots in bunches.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get to
You gotta get them shots on that. You gotta screen them, just like you were screening earlier. You gotta screen that fucking goalie here tonight. Yeah.
All right. Are you on TV tonight, or where can we see you?
Yeah, so the game is on, I think, ESPN. And,
primetime Sidney Crosby, of course.
Yeah, and it'll also be aired in Pittsburgh, and the regionals are picking it up too. So it'll be aired on AT&T Sportsnet Pittsburgh, and that would be on MSG for obviously the Rangers. So yeah, I got pregame, postgame. Colby Armstrong's joining me.
Colbs.
So we're going to be hashing it out in front of the big monitor. It should be a good time. So
How was the
big
watch
game on.
along? How was the watch along that happened on that Sunday with the Red Wings? You did a watch along thing. Did it go well? Did you have fun?
No, I had fun. The studio we used at MLB Network, it was incredible. Like, it was such a cool look to it. They tried something different, and there was mixed reviews on the feedback. It's just because, when people watch games, some people, like, just say even like the Manning cast. There's some people that I think it's great. I love it. I just want the game on here, and I can listen. I could listen to them. But some people don't like that.
Following the game, yeah.
Some people want the play-by-play. That's fine. So this is not for everybody, and so I think it was. I like that we tried it and tried something new. Use the resources there at MLB to do something neat, and whatever. I don't know if we'll do it again, or if they tried it, or if they'll tweak it. But it was fun. It was just, I think hockey. The only thing I'll say is hockey's a tough sport to follow sometimes because it's so fast moving. You can't tell where the puck is. Yeah. I know AJ mentioned he was a fan of the lasers behind the puck back in the day. And I think when Fox had it. But so when you have somebody that's just talking and shooting the shit, it's probably even harder to follow for some fans. So it's not for everybody, but I like doing it. It was fun.
Did you play during the glow laser era?
That was probably right at 2000, somewhere around there.
That was awesome.
I know. Yeah, they had this whole robot. You remember? Didn't Fox do that for all their sports? Like Fox was always going with like this robot theme. Where I remember wasn't it even football? Yeah, it's like they're going to break and they have like two robots running into each other. I'm like, why are they fucking going Transformers? Like, I don't understand.
All right,
I didn't get it.
Who you got tonight? You got Pens winning tonight. It sounds like.
Yeah, I have Pens. I got Pens winning tonight.
Texas hockey.
I'll have to change on my. And I'm still going Rangers in the series. Texas hockey. They could maybe steal one here. They need. Put it this way, Gumps. They need to steal one early.
Or fly out of the gate like we always do.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. There's
I'm not worried about Calgary.
There's some tough matchups in the Western Conference. So we'll see.
We appreciate you, Rupper. Thank you so much. Can't wait to talk to you again as the NHL playoffs continue to unfold. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Rupp. Thank you, Rupp. He really dunked on a couple of your guys' teams.
Yeah, it was messed up.
Great question by you, AJ.
So the Penguins you're not giving them a chance because their goalie got hurt?
No, I'm all the way back. Our goalie's good again.
Casey DeSmith.
So they're going to win it all.
Yeah, we're going to win it all. We got the fucking greatest player of all time skating.
Fucking Jari may be back next series.
Casey's just got to hold the fort.
Not to hold the fort. Fucking win the cup.
Shock the world.
No, fuck Jari. Go for it, Casey. Don't worry about old buddy coming back from an injury. Let's get Casey. And if Louis Domingue's got to step on the ice, then I'll be out.
Yeah, hopefully you can score on Kershkin, though.
Well, Igor Shishkorskin needs to fucking relax, that guy. He's gonna taste a nice piece of humble pie and he's gonna break a tooth or two on the way in. And that's Sydney's fucking next door neighbor clap bomb. Hour 3's next. Nailed it. Got it in. I think I got it in.
Oh yeah.
I got pretty hyped up in the middle of their NHL playoffs are a good time.
Awesome. I like watching you try to shield the get in front of the goalie's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a terrible gig.
Sorry about it.
Suck.
Absolutely brutal.
Eating cross checks.
Sorry about it. Bang, right in the liver. Sorry about it. Boom, right in that spleen thing. Boom. Sorry about it. Bang. How's the goalie supposed to fucking see, by the way? I have no idea.
Is he allowed to reach out and hit you from behind if you're outside of the blue?
Yeah, they do. Crease? They do. You've seen the goalie do, boom, right to people
Top
too.
Check.
As well. Yeah.
Punch him in the head with a blocker.
Yeah.
Give him a whack in the leg.
Fuck, you on my face, dude. It's fucking my crease.
That's what DeSmith does.
Casey DeSmith?
Yeah.
He has a Tyson Fury like uppercut with that blocker.
That's right.
That really, when Igor Shishkorskin tries to fucking step on the ice with Casey DeSmith and they throw it down like it's Ice Wars.
Yeah. Oh.
Dude, just wait till Casey DeSmith lands this Hayukin Tyson Fury uppercut.
They should fight right off the face-off tonight. Two goalies, unfinished business.
Igor
Shishkorshin and Casey DeSmith.
Yeah. Maybe even bring out Domingue against whoever is the other goalie for the Rangers.
I don't know if I want Casey DeSmith fighting before the series starts.
Yeah, maybe we start Domingue and let him throw the fist.
That's not a bad idea.
But I feel like they won't start Igor Shishkorskin either. They'll put their back up.
No, the Rags wouldn't do that. They fucking stink, dude.
Igor's a big son of a bitch, too. They might want him to be out there.
See, I thought he was saying there's two different outcomes. Like the Blues were able to do what they did with the Wild, and the Bruins stunk just like they did all season. And that would have given us a little bit of hope because that would make sense that nothing would be predictable because humans are kind of unpredictable and who's going to show up, who's not going to show up. But the Pens have been ragdolled by the Rangers all season.
It's happened before. Last year, the Pens took 6 of 8 from the Islanders, and then the Islanders.
Speaking of, I think I'm going there this week.
Here we go.
I think I'm in Long Island on Friday.
Hell yeah.
I think Long Island.
Beautiful brand new arena.
Is that because they tore down that old piece of shit barn? Mm-hmm. That's only for Islanders fans, not WWE Universe. It's going to be hard for me in there
not to.
if I have to speak, not to be like, Pittsburgh Penguins, greatest hockey team in the NHL. Just get a little test on it. How many people? I think they are big Islanders fans over there.
Oh yeah.
Huge. That's like a cult-like thing, right?
Yeah, because if you're from the island, you got to go with the Islanders, and then everyone else is the Rangers.
And the island is what? What is the island? It's a very nice
The
place.
island is essentially its own state inside of New York.
And it's awesome, right?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Long and skinny.
Mm-hmm.
People love Long Island.
Yeah, if you're
the more north you go, the nicer it gets.
On Long Island.
Yeah.
What if you're from Staten Island? Are you an Islanders fan?
Then you're Pete Davidson.
Yeah, Staten Island's a little different.
Mikey's big Islanders fan.
Out east, too. That's where what Tony's talking about. It's like the Hamptons and all those places.
The Hamptons are a part of Long Island?
Oh, yeah. That's the end of the island. Further east you go, it starts to get very, very nice.
Oh, I thought the Hamptons were their own thing.
No, that's part of the Long Islanders.
I'll tell you what, all the rich yups from that northeast area, I know they all live a certain life. After watching Secession, it's going to be hard to take any of them ever serious again.
Yeah. I'm taking their helicopters to wherever they want to go.
Just growing up in that life would be hilarious.
I'm glad you're in on Succession.
I am.
Yeah.
Started season 2 yesterday.
Yeah, started season 2 yesterday.
It's
One kid is great. I mean, all the actors are great, but yeah, the guy that falls apart and raps and all that, his one son.
All right, I think that's
Don't
probably
give
Kendall.
anything
Kenny.
away.
Yeah, it's
I've
Kenny.
heard he's in character at all times too.
He's an unbelievable
Not Kenny. What's his name?
Yeah, Kendall.
Yeah. Drugs.
Yeah, Kenny.
Yeah.
You prick.
Logan calls him Kenny.
Yeah.
Do you even know the show?
You haven't watched the
You're
show,
trying to make
clearly.
spoilers
you've
right
never
now.
seen
I've seen the first 2 seasons, I believe. How many seasons are there?
3.
Yeah.
Okay,
so-
I've seen 2 seasons.
Well, I'm watching season 2 right now, so how about you don't do the spoiler thing?
I didn't. I
You
just telling you how
did.
great the
You did.
actors
I
are.
didn't know he was going to rap. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's in season 2. You fucking
Does he
asshole.
start doing like everybody in
Oh,
the 3-1,
Yep.
3?
Yeah,
It's really
he does.
good.
It's pretty awesome.
Really good.
He's tough to watch.
Electric.
He's become tough to watch. I get uncomfortable for that guy.
Oh,
yeah.
just wait.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot more uncomfortable.
I think they do that on purpose.
Feels like he's got a good heart deep down in there, but he just fucks up all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I am very excited for you to get through these next 2 seasons.
I don't know if I'm gonna. If it's gotten uncomfortable to watch a few different times.
Well, it doesn't get any less uncomfortable.
Yeah, it just gets better.
Yeah.
What type of
Good
show is this?
uncomfortable.
What am I watching?
It's good uncomfortable.
Is it drama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drama,
Dark
black comedy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'm enjoying it.
It's very good.
Logan just will get better and better, though.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Same with Tom.
So is Wom's.
Yeah,
Tom
Wom's
gets
Gams.
better and better.
I don't know how Tom could get any better.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how Tom could get any better, to be honest. What a character.
Season
What a
3 Tom
character.
is like one of the best seasons.
What a character. And when you hear his actual voice, he's as British as they come.
That guy is?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Always.
Shiv, Shiv's husband?
Yeah.
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 Shit.
Oh, I gotta
Mom's
go listen to
Gams?
his real voice. That is weird.
Hey, Shiv, by the way. I mean,
Great actor as well.
all right, let's get to a break. We'll be back in the third hour. Dana White will join us. That should be fun.
Hell yeah.
Big card this weekend. Hey,
Gaethje, one of the greatest guys to watch fight ever.
Oliveira, Gaethje. Main event, a hell of a card. Thug Rose is back.
Hell yeah.
Chandler's back.
Let's go.
I mean, it's a big weekend for the UFC. We'll talk to Dana White in the third hour. Can't wait to chat with him. What's he got going on, too?
That's a good question.
What's fucking Friday got going on?
When's it go on Food Network?
Yeah, and like, what type of car does he drive?
That's a good question, too.
We'll ask
of them.
that and more.
Sure he has a
on-
bunch.
Yeah, well, I have the Rolls Royce some days. Then the Phantom, and I got the F-150 when I'm going to war. All right, back in 5 minutes with Dana White and more sports talk, even though we will say the well has run dry. 2 years, $18 million guaranteed for Tyrann Matthew. Had it, baby. With the Saints. We're back in 4. Out of Philadelphia is one of the biggest inspirations walking around the internet. Gio, the podcast. Okay, so you're 14 years old.
Yep.
You're from Philadelphia.
Yep.
Big time Eagles fan, podcaster. You were Carson Wentz's #1 fan.
Yeah. Yesterday, the 801 invited me, and Carson invited me to the game, and I got to go on the sideline and meet Carson again, and he gave me a football.
Let's go! Yeah! You're obviously full of energy, full of optimism, full of upbeat, good vibes.
Yeah.
What do you go through on a day-to-day?
I've had 20 surgeries in my life, so it hasn't been easy. I have a condition called SJS, short stem cell syndrome, and it's basically like muscular dystrophy with dwarfism. My elbows are dislocated, My left hip is dislocated. I had to get my right hip reconstructed. The reason I'm so optimistic is because life is too short to focus on the negativity.
Let's go! I'm sorry to hear that you have to be tougher than all of us on the day-to-day, but I am so incredibly thankful that you keep that mindset. How'd you develop a love for football?
We've always been a football family, but then when I started having surgeries, I started watching football, and then I just kind of fell in love.
What does the rest of the season look like for the Indianapolis Colts, you think? Carson's going to keep himself safe out there?
Carson's going to have his best NFL season here in Indy.
Why is that?
He loves it here, and he's having fun. And when Carson Wentz is having fun, he plays his best.
Okay, and how about the Philadelphia Eagles?
I think they got a little developing to do with Jalen.
Are there any players that you'd like to get on your podcast?
Brian Dawkins.
Oh. Is he your favorite Eagle of all time?
Him, Carson, and Zach Ertz are my top three.
Oh, Zach Ertz. Damn,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Why is everybody getting traded out that you like? What's the deal?
I don't know.
You're really, really good at this. What's the name of the podcast?
Philly Sports with Giovanni.
One last message to somebody out there who maybe doesn't view life the right way, you think?
I'd just say find your happiness and find the thing that inspires you, like I found football, and just try to look on the optimistic side.
Hey, you absolutely crush it every single day. You crushed it in here. We appreciate you. We hope you loved Indianapolis, Indiana. Come back whenever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, Gio the podcaster. I went to one of his shows. He forced me into doing. He's wearing football pants.
I think Mark
had actual knee pads. Does he have a fake face on?
Yeah, he has a fake face on. That is not Chris Angel. That or he's been eating McDonald's with Mark Davis for the last 5 years.
I just want everybody to know.
Straight to his face.
I just want everybody to know this is NFL related. Okay, we have to talk about this.
Yes. We have to cover it. Why is his penis a different color?
He's wearing football pants.
Tony, that's a.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show, hour 3 on this glorious Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. Shall begin after this beat drop. Yeah. Welcome back to my left, your right, AJ. Hawk at it, baby, AJ.
Hey.
How you doing, AJ?
Doing great. Wait to talk to Dana White here soon, Pat.
All right, so the Talks Table at Ty Schmidt, at Boston
Don't
Connor.
throw it to me.
What am I supposed to do?
Don't come to me. I'm excited about talking to Dana. I'm sorry. I'm going to blurt it out.
All right. I'm sorry. I won't even acknowledge your existence. I do apologize. Just like earlier, we had to bring up John Hamm because you wanted it so badly in the conversation.
Exactly.
So we did so. We appreciate whenever you add, direction to the show. I do appreciate that. Ask about John Hamm and his dong is what you said to Stanley Cup champion Mike Rupp, who was on the show earlier. That's what you said, AJ.
I was referencing a great show, Hockey Talk, where Nick asked him a question about that, so it's cross-promotion.
All right, well, great work. You did great. Thank you so much. Tom Diggs is here, as are all the boys in the back. Joining us momentarily will be the president of the UFC, Dana White, ahead of a stacked card this weekend, and also the 30th season premiere of The Ultimate Fighter that's happening and dropping today.
Wow.
12 episodes that'll drop one per every single Tuesday on ESPN+. 30 fucking seasons of that. The UFC's running big time lineups and events every single weekend, basically. They're on top of the world. What What a fucking run it's been. As we wait for Dana to get here, we got to chit-chat about some things that are happening around the NFL. The NFL announced that it couldn't substantiate any claims made by Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson alluded and came out and said to the fact that he was being paid to lose games as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. This comes after Brian Flores said that the Miami Dolphins owner was offering $100,000 to Brian Flores directly for every single loss. The NFL had to take this very seriously because the integrity of the league is on the line, especially as sports gambling continues to go. Everything the NFL and the Shield stand for is we are proper competition. We are fair competition. We want everybody to compete out there. There is parity here. We do not want teams to want to lose. After their long investigation, they said, vigorous investigation, they said, they found no claims to substantiate that. Did that surprise you, AJ Hawk? I was intrigued to hear how they were going to do that investigation there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't shock me to hear that they didn't come up with anything, but it's like if you are going to put these allegations out there, I would imagine you have to have something in writing, some kind of recording, video, audio, something. So I don't know. I doubt we have seen the end of this, but we have right now.
Well, I hope that is not something, because when Flores said it, obviously, it was in the middle of a much broader subject that was being taken very serious, as it should be, and the NFL should take it serious, by the way. The hiring process and who becomes head coaches and black coaches and everything. That became a big, as it should have been, by the way, and I think they are going to change it, I hope. Hopefully, they'll never be able to change that entire process. But the thing that was alongside of that was also a massive ordeal that should have been talked about. It was like Brian Flores was alluding to the fact that the owner was telling him, like, hey, not only like should you lose, you will benefit mightily from losing. There's no way any of us NFL fans would actually think that was taking place. No way. Like, that's what the NFL is not supposed to be about at all. Then all of a sudden you got ownership potentially involved. That was a big fucking deal. I'm happy that, the NFL is at least investigating and coming out and talking about it, but that was a big deal for all of us, Dahn.
Yeah, it is, especially in the gambling world, because, but those teams, like, you weren't betting on the Browns anyways. Whether they were getting paid to lose or they were losing on their own, you weren't going to bet on them anyways. But, it's shocking that the team from Cleveland and Hugh, and they didn't find any evidence of this going on and stuff like that.
Why is that?
Well, that's just normally that's a organization up there that's run very well.
This guy.
Unbelievable.
This is something very serious, and all of a sudden you're taking this to a mistake on the lake. You're about to hammer out all the old cliches about Cleveland right there?
No, I would never do such a thing.
Oh, you were saying to people of Cleveland
they don't deserve that.
Listen to you. That's very nice of you.
They do a good enough job losing on their own. They don't have to be paid.
Come on. What about the dog pound? Don't they deserve a little bit of happiness?
They do deserve a little bit of happiness.
I assume the Browns are happy to hear that the NFL did turn out and say that the Haslam family wasn't paying Hugh Jackson to lose.
Yeah.
I bet you that's independent review into allegations by former Browns. Oh, it's independent. Okay, so the NFL hired a party, independent firm. So independent review into allegations by former Browns coach Hugh Jackson concludes allegations could not be substantiated. That's the headline. Now we get into the details. Following a 60-day independent review into comments made by former Cleveland head coach Hugh Jackson that the Browns paid or otherwise provided incentives to lose games during the 2016-2017 seasons, former U.S. Attorney and SEC Chair Mary Jo White and a team of lawyers from Deebo firm determined that none of the allegations could be substantiated. The investigation found no evidence to suggest that the Browns' 4-year plan or the club's ownership or football personnel sought to lose or incentivize losses and made no decisions deliberately to weaken the team to secure a more favorable draft position. They did that on their own. The comprehensive review included the full cooperation of the Browns and interviews with Jimmy Haslam and current and former members of the organization. While Coach Jackson initially agreed to meet with the investigators, he ultimately did not do so. Although unable to speak directly to Coach Jackson, the Deebo team had access to his public statements and to his filings and testimony in a prior arbitration proceeding. The club also produced thousands of pages of documents, including emails, texts, internal memos, and presentation decks, as well as other material relating to club operations and the filings and testimony in the arbitration proceeding between the club and Coach Jackson. So it wasn't the NFL that investigated this. It was an independent party that investigated this. Hugh Jackson did not show up to the investigation, but they said that we will check out some of the other shit that you have said in the past. And they said that Haslam was not paying them to lose. They were doing it them damn selves.
Well, don't you think if you do this, if you're an owner and they find concrete evidence that you are paying to lose games, you're throwing games, you need to sell the team instantly, I would imagine, right? Because that's the thing, protect the shield. This is one of the worst things you could possibly do where people would lose trust in the NFL.
Yeah, if you're a program that is running a dishonest program, looking to lose games when everybody else, the other owners aren't being told about this or whatever, it's an inside deal behind the scenes or whatever, you make everybody look bad. And also, you jeopardize any future potential relationships as well. That'd be grounds, I believe, for termination. But, I mean, we've seen old Washington owner do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen him skirt through a lot of things that you would think would be devastating to the league's integrity, but he's still got the team over there. Under his wife's name, still got the team over there.
Yeah, like if you're the Haslams or the owner for the Dolphins, you at least can say like, hey, I'm trying to make your teams better. We're just trying to lose. Snyder's over there stealing your guys' money.
Allegedly,
doing way more terrible things.
We have to pivot away from this to talk to an incredible businessman, a man who today is overseeing the premiere of the 30th season. 3-0. Wow. The 30th season premiere of The Ultimate Fighter today on ESPN Plus. Then this weekend, a stacked card that is headlined by Oliveira and Gaethje on ESPN Plus. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the UFC, founder of Fuck It Friday, Dana White. What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? Happy birthday.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Another year around.
You and The Rock have the same birthday.
I know, it's pretty cool, right? He's done a lot more with his life, and he looks better, but at the age of 50. But yeah, happy birthday to him as well. Happy birthday to you. I missed yours. Go ahead.
But you both have the same amount of money.
Whoa. No, we're all trying to catch up with Dana fucking White right now. As we should. Hey, look, 30 seasons of something is impossible in the modern world, especially of entertainment, let alone sports. 30th season here of The Ultimate Fighter. Congrats. Hey, congratulations. This one bigger than ever, too, it feels like. It's the same amount of steam as season 1, it feels like.
Yeah, we brought it back last season. And it absolutely killed it. So, I always think it's all about the coaches, too. So we got great coaches. The rematch for this fight with Nunes and Pena will be awesome. And hopefully people like the season.
The Ultimate Fighter, was that your creation, if I do recall, because you wanted to find more fighters from outside the world that you were currently in? Is that how it started?
No. So what happened was back then we couldn't get on television. We kept trying to get on TV, and none of the networks would take us. They were too afraid of the product. So at that time, reality shows were just starting to explode. So we literally went into my office, me and a bunch of my people that worked for me at that time, and we came out at like 2 a.m. with the concept for The Ultimate Fighter. And even though we had like a concept for it, it was a work in progress that whole first season. The first season was the longest season ever. I think those guys were in there for like 6 or 7 weeks. So
social experiment. The full social experiment in there, which is what reality TV was. How do those brainstorming sessions look? You guys have music on, a little bit of booze, a little bit of weed. What is there, a dry erase board? What does your brainstorming sessions look like?
Literally, well, back then, I mean, you're talking 2003 or 4. We were in our old offices, and we were in my office. I had a big conference table in there, and we were all at the conference table just, batting ideas back and forth. That was it.
Music on? Are you a thinker?
I do I have music in my office all day, but yeah, not back then. Not back then. I wasn't fucking around back then.
Now we need this to fucking work. Now it's like we know it's going to work.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's two different mindsets. You're in the war room. I believe that's where you make your fights and everything like that. It feels like you guys are working every single weekend, so congrats, by the way, on being all the way back. But also, it feels like every week you somehow have a stacked card. Thug Rose is back this weekend. 3 out of the 5 fights are lightweight fights. It feels like you have a #1 contender fight on the same exact night as the championship fight. This is going to be a fucking big one, Dana. Congrats on another banger.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the main and co-main are awesome. Chandler versus Ferguson. Shogun Hua is always fun to watch. He's fighting OSP. Cowboy and Lozon should be fun. And then there's a ton of great fights on the undercard, with up-and-comers.
Hey, what's up with the Cowboy fight? That's we want to see Cowboy fucking win there, right? Is this what we're doing here? The other guy?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, these are two guys that are at that time in their career, Lozon and Cowboy, they're in the twilight, we'll say, of their career. And, this is the type of fight I like to see with two veterans. I'm not throwing any young savages at these guys right now.
Ah, okay.
Dana, what do you expect to see with the Gaethje Oliveira fight? I think for any fight fan, anyone that's even a casual fan, watch this card, but especially watch that. There may be some blood and guts. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, that fight's going to be an absolute war. I mean, when are either one of them ever in a boring fight? They're not. And, Gaethje's in his home state trying to win a world title. So I expect it to be an absolute war.
Hey, whenever you're predicting the next year of life for you, and we had Jim Irsay on yesterday, and he was talking about going to the moon and the Mars. He's talking about how the future is going to be insane. He's obviously the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. Whenever you think about the next year of the UFC, how far out do you have to predict fights? Like, for instance, we hear the rumblings about John Jones potentially getting back into the fight game. How far out are you predicting fights and promoting fights and setting things up with each individual Saturday event?
Yeah, we have fights made all the way up to August 6th right now.
Damn. Do you drop like little seeds anywhere? Like, do you set it up a little bit, like a little bit more story, or do you just expect all these guys to be big enough names to figure it out?
It depends. There's guys that are going to fight on fight nights that are working their way up to make it to pay-per-views, and then the pay-per-views are for our stars and the fights that we think are going to be the most exciting.
3 months out, how much change is there normally in that scheduling? How much wiggle room? Is this normal to be 3 months out too, booked?
As long as the main event stays intact, the rest of the card can switch up however. It doesn't matter.
Hey, did you hear we beat COVID too? You guys even testing for that now to potentially change any fights or no?
No, we're not testing for COVID anymore. We're not wearing masks. We're not doing any of that shit.
Hey, let's go. We did it. We beat COVID. We beat it, Dana. It was a long run, but we fucking got here.
Isn't it amazing? It's amazing. It's still around if you creep onto CNN every once in a while. Talking about it.
Yeah, I saw a couple people driving past me with their masks on today, and I'm like, all right, you're safer than everybody else. You care more than everybody else. I'm very proud of you. I'm thankful for you. But they were fucking
so crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's insanity. They're nice. They're better people than you are, though, Dana. You never get it. Go ahead.
You got that right.
Yeah, Dana, the way Ngannou and Fury are talking, it seems like that fight is kind of like a lock to happen. Are you involved in setting that up at all or no?
Yeah, that fight's definitely not a lock.
Hey, you hate that when that happened? You hated it? Did you know it was coming?
Yeah, I know. Listen, they've been talking about it and everything. I mean, guys, Fury is the best boxer, one of the greatest boxers of all time. I mean, you look at the guys that he's beaten and how easily he's beating them. I don't know. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. I don't love the crossover fights. I don't love them.
Why not? Just because you think you're taking somebody out of their, like, what they're supposed to be in and almost diminishing their legacy? Is that why? Or because you just think...
Because they're fucking stupid. That's why. Fucking waste of time, energy, and money. Yeah, I mean, listen. I don't know. It's just... It's silly, but I get it. Everybody wants to try to, I don't know. I don't even know.
Francis is your champion. He's an absolute monster of a man. And if it goes the way they're setting it up, Tyson Fury boxing him with UFC gloves, that's a massive advantage for Tyson, I think is what you're trying to say. So you're like, is that why you're thinking like that?
Boxing is a massive advantage for Tyson Fury.
Yeah, but Ngannou's...
Boxing.
Yeah.
And Ngannou just wrestled Cyril Gane.
So you're saying maybe not the fairest for both fighters here, and we're going to say this the Ultimate Heavyweight Championship. Our guy's kind of fucked here, is what you're saying?
I mean, if you know anything about fighting, it's a silly conversation. It's a silly conversation.
How do you feel? Because you're right in the middle of all of this, though, because, with the old fighters getting into the boxing game, and then the Conor and Floyd thing that happened that you were a massive part of, which was a smashing success. I think that's only going to grow and grow. It feels like you were about over it already. It sounds like you're...
Well, the thing is that the Floyd-Conor fight took on a life of its own. I mean, everywhere I went, that's all people were asking me about, It got to a point where the fans wanted to see that fight and the media wanted to see that fight. And you know me, people aren't knocking our door down for this fight.
Well, I know people are for this weekend. I know you got a busy week. Congrats on 30th season of The Ultimate Fighter debuting today, and have an incredible weekend. What's fucking Friday? What are we eating fucking Friday?
Yeah, what am I eating for? Oh, apple pie nachos.
Oh, damn. Here we go. What a life. Congrats to you, man. Good luck with everything.
Thanks, boys. Have a great day.
All right, Dana White, ladies and gentlemen. He's not what that.
Not a fan.
No, he does not.
Not a fan of Connor's question. When Connor said it was a lock, I was like, I don't think that's the truth.
Yeah, well, I believe he even did a full. I do not think that is a lock. All right, let's fucking relax there. And it has to be because he knows his champ is in. So, because they were even talking like maybe they'll box with UFC gloves on, and it's like, whoa, that's better for Tyson. Much better for Tyson. Not that I'm a fan of Tyson Fury as well. I just thought even the original concept of the fight wouldn't necessarily be great for the UFC champion. It feels like Dana's feeling the same.
Well, and a mixture of that, because like for the guys who aren't boxing, like the allure, obviously, if he's fighting Tyson Fury, like Tyson Fury's making fucking $60 million doing that, and this guy, it probably is like you can make way more than what would even be sensible, like for just an average UFC fight.
Could you imagine Tyson Fury with smaller gloves?
Oh, dangerous.
I mean, Tyson Fury picks apart the best boxers in the world. Francis Ngannou is obviously the heavyweight champion of the UFC, but it's different, man.
Man, good for.
But like they said, though, hey, if Francis catches him with one, like it could go out.
How about Francis? Hey, by the way, how about Francis being there in the ring though? It's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, this is happening. That was a cool little promotion there to see it. Dana said, it didn't seem like the reaction. Hey, sorry about it, boys.
I saw something where Dana said too, like a lot of boxers are way overpaid as well.
Oh, so that's the entire.
Well, the guy that Fury fought got like what $6-7 million for that, and I think Francis got like $980 his last fight or something. That's like people try to say, why would Francis? Yeah, of course, they're all trying to get these gigantic paydays.
The money thing is fascinating because the boxing.
How do these boxers get paid so much money?
They always say it's the old money, like the old. But where does it come from? I don't understand where the old money just comes from. The old people are just pouring money in because they've always
like the
done
pay-per-views aren't like are the pay-per-views that much better? Or selling that high?
I don't know.
Yeah, and how has that not creeped into the UFC? Because the UFC every single weekend it feels like.
Well, that's the point lies.
The
there.
difference.
Yeah. Dana's the one deciding all that is what they say. Where all these previous promoters in boxing have already opened up the contracts a bit, probably, and it's kind of like a Pandora's box almost. Like, hey, this is how much fighters get versus how much they do in that. I don't know.
Well, and even no matter what, like he is getting probably a pretty decent chunk of the pay-per-view buys, and like there are only a handful of guys in the UFC who are getting that type of payment.
John Jones is getting back into fighting, right? Isn't he?
At some point, I don't know.
Hopefully.
I don't know if it's been confirmed or anything, but
It
I
was
think
tweets. Wasn't there tweets about it?
Yeah, he did.
I hope he gets back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When John Jones is, I mean, the guy is so like creative and ballsy and just it's fun to watch.
He would have been the only guy I think in the UFC there for a bit. Him and Brock that could have done their own promotion. You know, like Floyd, not Floyd.
I don't know if John could. I don't know if John's an
He could
absolute
have.
stud.
I think he could have.
Like during
I don't
his
know though.
run.
He never had that crazy like Connor appeal though. Like people loved him. He was so good, but
Well,
he didn't
he's
have
on-
the following. He never had the following Connor had.
He was on Wheaties. I think he had a Nike deal. Remember?
Yeah, he did. But he still didn't cross over into the absolute like superstardom that Connor has into everyday life.
Oh, okay,
It was,
I get
it was
you.
in like the fighting combat world almost.
Yeah, I feel like okay, what I'm saying is I think he was on his way to doing such a thing. You're saying Connor did achieve it. Connor did actually get there. I agree completely, by the way. That is an accurate assessment on that. But John was.
I mean, John could be the best fighter of all time. Like, honestly, he's that good.
If he would have just kept fucking going and kept fighting and kept
He
winning.
hasn't lost. His only loss is a DQ where he hit a down guy or something, or he kneed a down opponent or whatever.
Yeah, but then he's also failed a test after a win
Yeah.
the day after, and that's been like ruled. What is that? A no contest?
No contest, I think.
Then it's ruled as a no contest or whatever. But how old is John Jones?
Still pretty young.
32, 33.
Yeah, he's young.
So he can still fight for a bit.
34.
34 years old.
He turns 35 in July.
And Cowboy Cerrone's 48, I think. So he's going to be able to fight for another 15 years.
I hope Cowboy wins.
And I like the fact that he said, "I'm not throwing any young savages in with these guys." Like I feel like this is Dana doing a favor to two guys. Like, hey, all right, this is like last fight here. Let's go. I'm not gonna have you go out there and just get a 22-year-old that's trying to make a name for themselves in this entire thing either.
Have you ever watched Gaethje fight?
Yes, he is violent. He's a violent person. I
It's
love
awesome.
that
He's
you
a
brought up-
wrestler. He's a wrestler and he never wrestles. Like that's my favorite part too.
Yeah, he's a maniac. I like that you said he's going to be blood and guts though. Like there's a chance he's going to fucking rip into somebody's abdomen. that was the description you gave. I loved it. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Wasn't it him and Chandler they had the last fight in their base? They both essentially were like, yeah, hey, we're just going to go in there and put on the best possible show that we can.
And Chandler, by the way, stood in there right with him because Chandler wasn't known for that. Chandler was known for being a wrestler or something like that. Gaethje was known for being the striker for the Bomber. And Chandler, I believe after the fight, said like, yeah, we agreed. We're just going to come in here and have and they did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were bombing on each other. These dudes in real life, 100 and what? What's that? 120, 130?
145, I think.
140?
Lightweight. Isn't he a lightweight?
Gaethje, I don't know. Check what Gaethje's fighting. I think he might be fighting at 170. I don't know.
170?
Oh, so he's not a welterweight. Yeah, 155. He's a lightweight.
He walks around at 180.
And then cuts to 155?
Yeah, 170. He probably walks around at 170. I don't know. You get a better check, but he might be fighting 155, I think.
That's bigger than Foxy, I guess. So I shouldn't be talking about that. Because I was going to like whenever I'm talking, Foxy's like 170.
170.
Soaking wet.
175
maybe.
soaking wet.
6'2", 170. Think about that. He's an H&M mannequin. An actual H&M mannequin.
And that's what Patty, the Batty talked about, right? He said he blows up to like 185, then he drops like 40 pounds to get down.
That's the insane thing about mixed martial arts is there's some tiny little people in that thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Jockey-sized people walking around, peacocking around those. We went to an event. We were down close. There's these tiny little humans peacocking around. They got these like $1,000 shoes on. They're all yoked up. And this is just a little child almost walking around. Then they got that big cauliflower ear. They get on camera. Obviously, they shoot them so they look bigger on camera or whatever. And they're talking like, I'll beat the fuck out of anybody in here. I'm like, whoa. This little guy right here. And then lo and behold, if I accidentally did something to that person, that person would break both of my fucking arms and my face before I even knew it, just like that, like a ninja. Bang. That's a game changer. There's some humans that just know how to kill other humans no matter what their weight is. And that's why the UFC and all these fights are so fucking insane to me.
Did it happen last summer before the football season where those Oklahoma football players basically ran into a couple guys in the bathroom and that's exactly what happened to them?
Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
155 where they're fighting, I guess, this weekend. That's what Cito just said in my ear. Lightweight, 146 to 155. It's a lightweight.
Damn.
So ain't nobody coming in at 146.
No.
It says their normal walk around weight is like 170, 175.
So Foxy would be a lightweight. So Foxy, you could potentially cut and become a lightweight.
No.
Go get him, Fox.
Foxy, you'd be fighting against 5'8" guys.
Never in a million years.
Good reach.
Oh my God, you'd be Sugar Sean. You'd be Sugar Sean.
Hell yeah.
Warm up,
Hey,
Fox.
some respect on these guys' names.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying, you're 6'4" coming into this thing. You'd be able to cut that weight, no problem. You'd literally be able to maybe even hold foreheads at that thing.
Yeah, you just got
Can't do
to
it.
get on the boxing and the fighting machine out
That
there.
literally might be the last thing on earth I would ever want to do in my life is get into the octagon. I actually think so.
Don't you think just that walk to that cage would be pretty cool?
I'd love that. Let me do that.
Well, the reason why you would either love it or hate it is because you know you're about to strap into a cage with another human. It's like, well, I'm either leaving here knocked out or they're knocked out.
Yeah. That's what I'd do. I'd go do the awesome intro and then flying knee. If the flying knee doesn't hit, all right, knock me out. Give me my money. See you later. Pretty simple.
We need Foxy's brain though. What about like Mitt?
No. Come on. Mitt will actually go in there. We need that not to happen. Let's go to a break. We'll be back on the other side. I'll fight you, man.
I think Mitt could do it.
Well, Mitt lost out on 20 grand because his first round mock was the worst out of all of them. But he gave a great effort, valiant effort.
That'll make me Mitt.
Next year you'll be even better, pal. You'll learn from your mistakes this year. This I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Mitt recently said that he would. Who was he knock out? Sugar Ray Leonard, or something like that. Or
Yeah, it was Sugar Ray.
Mitt said that.
Jesus,
Ray
man.
Leonard.
Wait, please, can we clarify this?
I'll fucking knock Sugar Ray's ass out.
He said that?
Is he talking the singer?
No,
the boxer.
No, I'll knock
What was that
Mark
song? What was
McGrath's
that
ass
song,
out
Sugar
too.
Ray?
Every morning when I wake up, there's a halo hanging from my You guys are gonna get me knocked out. No, I did not say any of this shit.
I know he's not mine, but I see if I can use it for the weekend or a one-night stand.
You should fight Mark McGrath, man. Honestly.
Mark McGrath would ragdoll you, Mitt. You hear me? Mark McGrath would fuck you up so hard, dude. So hard. Guy's a good host. I see him hosting stuff. A lot of energy.
Name that tune or the lyric one.
Oh yeah, he's still working.
Bro, he's got the juice.
Yeah.
Mitt would run into a buzzsaw of fucking Mark McGrath.
Yeah, with Sugar Ray though, who knows?
I mean, AC Slater's like a real boxer. He boxes.
Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great wrestler. in
He
high school.
wrestled
He's
in Iowa,
All-American.
dude.
All American.
Come on.
One state.
He used to fucking
Nedick.
pin people at Bayside.
Oh, every day.
Both shoulders down. And he fucking slides super cool.
Yep.
Yeah, hell of a
Give
wrestler.
me this fucking chair.
This. I'm gonna have sex with everybody.
Yeah.
Wrestlers are
Start
different
with you,
animals.
Jesse.
Absolute different animals.
A lot of people know what we're talking about, I'm sure.
Let's get to a break.
Everybody
does
It's like
know
when your
what-
parents talk about like Old Yeller, or not Old Yeller, one of those old shows back in the
Bro, our demo on here, 22-39
Hell yeah.
is our biggest.
22-year-olds have no idea what Saved by the Bell
No,
is,
they
though.
got reruns. There's a lot of Saved by the Bell growing up.
Oh, that's
Listen.
good to know that Zach Morris is still out there.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, he's a piece of shit.
No, and
No, Screech is the dirtbag.
No, no,
real
life.
Come on.
In real life, in real life, yes, but in the
Screech was
show,
bullied by
Zach
everybody.
Morris is
Mark
kind of a
Voorhees.
piece of shit.
Zach Morris, there's definitely a piece of content out there that edits every single thing he has done, and it does appear as if he is a sack of shit.
Yeah, the evidence is
Really?
pretty
I haven't seen
damning.
this.
Huh?
Are you
We'll
serious?
send it to.
Oh, yes, you have.
Wait, stuff on the show or real life? What
It's
do you
actually called, from the show, it's called Zach Morris is a piece of shit. Is actually, I
Oh,
think,
but
what
it's
it's
from the
called.
show?
Trash.
It's trash.
Zach Morris is trash.
Oh,
but
piece of trash.
interchangeable.
It's a series, yeah.
Listen, when the teacher pops the test, we all know we're in a mess.
Yeah.
And our dog did all our homework last night.
Bingo.
Okay? We'll ride low on our chair. They won't know that we're there.
Hey, Mr. Belding parties. I've talked to people that have seen him out.
Really?
All right,
Dead
we're back and
serious.
forth.
In
Wait
what
for some
way?
phone calls. Yeah.
He's been on stage with that band that Romo goes and sings with, that cover band that's really good. I know Belding's been up there with them.
All right. We're back and forth.
What?
Some phone calls.
Can't
on
wait to
a
talk
5-hour
about this after the break.
No, we're moving on. We're taking phone calls. We're not talking about
I'm
Bayside.
going to research during the break.
Listen, those caffeine pills almost fucking killed her.
Yeah, they almost
Okay?
did.
Everybody
Thank
needs to
God she's
relax.
all right.
So excited.
Be careful with those.
Richard Karn's pretty good, too.
Al Borland.
I don't think so, Tim.
He sells that ladder on QVC.
Oh, he sells the shit out of it, too.
As he should. That guy
Yeah.
fucking knew his shit.
Yeah.
Maybe the handiest of handymen.
Oh, yeah.
A champion handyman.
Also,
Champion.
Survey Shesh was great on fucking Family Feud before Harvey was
Well,
there.
they actually said it was dying before Harvey got there.
Well, it wasn't his fault.
People want to see him with a hammer, not that little tiny microphone.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's selling flexible hoses now on TV. Great
Oh, of
picture.
course he is.
Why
I
wouldn't
have
he
a
be?
few of them. They leak. They leak if you leave them out over in the winter. But yeah, they work pretty good.
You were lied to by Rich?
I didn't. I don't think I read the instructions as well. I should have stored them properly.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they work.
We're back and forth. We'll answer some phone calls. No more of this.
Winterizer.
This is a terrible day in the sports world, though. I mean, except for
That's
Deandre
why you're
Hopkins
talking about when AC Slater beat Nedick in the big wrestling match.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was a hell of a match.
and the celebration afterwards at that goddamn restaurant diner
Yeah,
thing.
the Max.
Oh my god, with that
Peach
creepy.
pit.
Eating Jesse's box in one of the frickin' booths at the Max.
All right,
Come on,
In
Ty.
the deleted scenes.
we're back.
Did
and
they show
forth.
that time?
We're back
deleted
and
scene.
forth. I don't think they showed
No, she did that movie later, which that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
That really opened your eyes if you were Saved by the Bell fan. When
That
you were
was
younger.
a good
It's quite a
movie.
tease we just had here. We're back in 4. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
It's like I'm frustrated with flying cars because I'm obsessed with that. Like I want a flying car.
Hey, me too.
What I got is my phone instead. It's like, well, the future is on your phone really right now. It's not like literally in front of you. You can't get into a flying car, but you know, your phone has it all. It's like, I don't want this phone. I'm not gonna have this phone 14 hours a day like you young people do. No, thank you. Like, I'm not from that generation. But, you know, give me a flying car. You know? and honestly, when we shut down the Mars missions, you know, we were supposed to be going in 2024, and we shut it down. But a lot of people don't realize is, you know, from here to the moon is 208,000 miles roughly. You know, 200. So you can think about that. Well, in this country, you know, a long road trip could be 4,000 miles, and you know how far it is to Australia. You know, so 200,000 miles. You know, that you think about that, and you know, that's far, but like Mars, think about this, is 250 million miles. 250 million miles. So, that's a little different thing because, when you go, it takes about anywhere from, 9 to 11 months to get there, depending on the alignment.
Are you going to fucking Mars?
And so,
Jim, are you going to Mars? It sounds like you're.
I wish I was. Maybe you'll have. I think you have a chance to do a show from there when you're 80, Pat.
Hell of a machine.
310J, dude.
Oh, top of the line.
That's when they were singing about being sexy.
That's right.
Yes. The 310J. When somebody saw it, they're like, that's sexy, and he was like, "The country, you're right, it is. She thinks my tractor's sexy." Oh, look at that!
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, dude! Hey, that's got a good cockpit in there.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Pope Mobile with all the glass around the top there, but it ain't no Pope Mobile because this one's fucking breaking grind. Hell yeah!
Party in the front, business in the back, am I right?
Well, I do believe we got business
on
all
both
sides.
ends.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, the plot down there in the front is, although a good time. It is a good time to get that thing going.
Fun.
Business is being handled, dude.
Everyone's getting plot.
And then on the back side, whenever you start cracking earth,
Oh yeah.
oh my
You
god.
need the excavator back there, the big dog.
And the thing about the seat on this 310J, it turns.
Yeah.
So it's always in the front. Whatever you're working on, business can be on the front, both sides.
That's right.
Controls all around.
We worried about those front tires?
No, not at all.
That's how they roll.
No, they survive anything.
Those are standard Deere backhoe tires.
Look at the back
Someone like you
tires,
might be worried
Foxy.
about
Yeah, exactly. Foxy.
I'm just asking questions.
Foxy, it ain't about the front wheels. It's always about the back.
That's right.
All right, because these rear wheel powered vehicles that you would never understand.
Yeah, you don't know anything about that, Foxy.
You have no
I
idea.
would not know.
Wake up.
I got friends that know. I don't know.
Listen, when you're drifting gears, okay, on a rear wheel, especially for 600 some ponies, you got to watch for like any, plot holes or debris.
Of course.
Because you can and then hit a tree. Because the back end kicks out. And then you won't drive that car ever again. Because how are you not supposed to drift it? And I guess, how are you not supposed to hit another tree?
Yeah, right.
That's my life. Doesn't have to be yours, though. Thank you, Andrew, for calling from the 310J. That's a beautiful piece of machinery.
It is.
Gorgeous.
Take that thing another round. Oh, look at that thing prop itself up.
Lift kit.
That's why the wheels don't matter in the front, pal.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Today's show is sponsored by the best ticket app on planet Earth and
The Moon!
SeatGeek. This is your weekly reminder that listeners of this show and watchers of this show get 10% off at the link in the description here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. The NHL playoffs are here. The NBA playoffs are rolling in. Baseball is doing what baseball does. Plus, live shows, concerts, and plays and everything. You're alive, but are you living? Go live and experience something live with our friends at SeatGeek. SeatGeek's seating chart will make sure you're getting the best value possible every single time.
Hell yeah.
Just hit the link in the description next time you buy some tickets. Shout out to SeatGeek and shout out to Ticket Stooge.
Thank you, Ticket Stooge.
Thank you, Ticket Stooge. We appreciate you over here, and SeatGeek does do an incredible job. I'm back on keto, AJ. I don't know if you know that. Started this morning.
You look good, man. Are you intermittent fasting and keto or just keto?
Just keto and just keto and just keto and just keto.
It's good.
It's not too much. This is going to be the year I'm the most healthy I've ever been. I'm going to have a commitment to
I
health.
love it. I can't wait. I love hearing these things.
This entire trip around the fire in the sky, I'm going to commit to health. I'm going to stretch more this
New
year.
Year's resolutions. Here we go.
No, it's lifetime.
It's a new year resolution for me. That
Okay.
is going to start, and I'm going to be the best version of myself this year.
You know what? Honestly, I think more people need to hear that. More people should make that pledge to themselves.
Well, I think the interesting thing is there was too much love from me yesterday on the internet from people and things and places and businesses. I was overwhelmed. I honestly, I was taken aback, because it was insane to think about. I mean, then we're talking to Jim Irsay while we're in the middle of this, and then I get a text from maybe another billionaire that sends me a very nice message, and then there's like companies, and then there's other things happening. It's just like this is the dumbest life of all time. I'm very thankful for it, but I do think I've finally gotten to the point where I'm like, more mature. Okay, I'm 35 now. I'm more mature. I would like this to be maybe my most healthy year, my best year. I'd like to feel my best this year, as opposed to when I go through, the bouts of like eating every single food that is out there, and then I obviously have to pay for that whenever I'm taking a shit the next day, and then that ruins the next hour or two because my entire body's sore and I'm tired from it and everything like that. So like that's what I'm saying, AJ. Like this is going to be the year I take care of me, and I'm going to hopefully take care of my future because of it, AJ. This is great.
I like it. I think that's a great message to put out there. The hardest thing, as anybody knows, is just the motivation, keeping that motivation over the next 364 days.
That's a lot of days.
Lifestyle change.
It's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's not a thing you're doing. It's just who you are.
Lifestyle.
It is who I am.
Yeah.
I'm keto. I eat
But
meat.
what is all the love? And
I eat meat. I eat meat, dude. What? I got canine. Fuck off, dude. We're supposed to. That's
Sorry
me.
about
This
it.
is me
Why
now.
did all the love, though? Why did all this love force you to do keto right away again?
No, I was planning on doing new diet day after birthday.
Yeah, you said that yesterday.
Yeah.
After Bezos texted you and you saw how jacked that dude is, and so you're like, I gotta get like that.
I've never talked to Bezos. Bezos and I have never talked to each other.
Okay, Bill Gates texted you and you said, I want to look like that.
Nope. Bill's
going down the line.
No, Bill Gates.
That's who you
El
text.
Chapo.
El Chapo, I believe, is in jail. I'm not sure he's texting anybody.
Maybe. I'm sure he's got a photo there.
Vince McMahon.
Oh, nice.
I do want to look like him whenever I'm 76 years old.
1,000 pounds.
How about him? There's a picture of him. Obviously, he caught me off guard and he fucking cheap shotted the hell out of me. And blindsided me, and it's not a sanctioned match, so I'm still 1-0.
That's right.
Undefeated.
Person.
Who'd you beat?
Theory.
But his name was Austin Theory back then, right?
Well, his name was, I beat the Austin off him.
You beat Austin off of his name.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. Ezekiel killing it again.
Zeke's back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Slaughter.
By the way, Zeke lifestyle, very good. That Ezekiel Elias family has
unbelievable genetics.
Great genetics. I mean, Zeke is yoked up. I'd like to look like Zeke, but yeah. Aside from, a person in a match, sanctioning a match, and then sabotaging me in the match, that's not real. That'll be for grounds for appeal forever. Yeah. I'm still undefeated, but did you see him at WrestleMania?
Oh, my God.
There's like a photo. Somebody did a painting, very thankful for it, and it's a part of him clotheslining me or whatever. His left arm, the painting is like on the side of it. It's Zito. Zito gave me these custom kicks that are just awesome, but I believe it's a painting, and you can still see his bicep in the painting. Like the guy, he's yoked at 76 years old. I think I could do it. Like, why not? AJ, why not? Why not be healthy?
I agree. Think about it. It has changed a lot. Like when I'm 38, you just turned 35. When I was growing up, a 50-year-old was basically dead. Like that. Okay,
Yes.
you might as well have a walker, gray hair. They're stumbling around. They're barely alive anymore. Now,
Agreed.
There's 90-year-olds I feel like that are in great shape. So I think it keeps getting better and better with time, and it's different. It's a good thing.
Is that because everybody's on HGH? Is that what you do? Just do the HGH? Is that why?
Well, I'm wondering with a lot of these old people. I mean, yeah, it has to have something. The fact that people take care of themselves a lot better now than they used to, but they also abuse themselves more than they ever have too. Probably.
Well, is 35 too young to start doing all that stuff?
I don't know. Probably not.
You got money, you'll be good. You don't see
Yeah, you
too
can do
many
whatever you
dead,
want.
broke 90-years walking around. They all kick the bucket.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Well, the old thing used to be you don't see a lot of overweight old people.
Mm-hmm.
Because the heart is like the thing it goes. But
You don't see a whole lot of giants, old giants that are like 7 feet tall cruising around either.
yeah, that is certainly something for the tall bouncers and NBA guys. Like
More weight, though.
something to think about. A lot of more weight. And the heart, a lot of more work the heart has to do.
Yes.
That's like I did something for the Heart Association one time, and they played this game like stand up if you've ever had blah 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 blah. Like the heart affects like heart disease and the heart.
yeah.
That's how everybody goes basically.
Number one killer in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty much how everybody goes. That's very scary. So that's why keto scares me a little bit, right?
It does, yeah. You got to eat your grubbage with it, Brock said.
Greens and stuff like that.
Broccoli.
Yeah.
That's how he got the diverticulitis situation.
Yeah, he said he wasn't eating any grubbage, I think is the word he used.
Yep, grubbage, yep.
So he said that he eats a lot of grubbage now.
Brock said the word grubbage in here.
Not on microphone.
So now you're quoting him off microphone.
Tony.
Oh, Tony.
That's
Slow down.
that is
Slow down.
That is a wild thing.
What's he going to do about it?
Tony, I saw him at. Well, I don't know if you want to say that. He
I'm
is
never
the-
going to see Brock again in my life.
That's probably not accurate.
Show up tomorrow.
Bring him in. Bring him in.
That is probably not accurate if I had to
Everyone,
guess.
Brock Lesnar.
I've seen him actually since the interview.
Bro, how about him picking up Wee Man and just tossing him through a table because Wee Man peacocked on him?
Can't be doing that.
Brock kicked off our NFL Draft Spectacular this year. Let's not let that get forgotten about.
Yeah, very underrated.
Oh yeah.
Fucking sweet.
Was that like his? Was that a hunting cabin he was in, or what?
Yeah, I believe that was up in Saskatchewan.
Awesome.
Up there in Canada. It still has snow on the ground if you look closely in the back of the video.
Insane.
It is still snowing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Was the video good or not? It was. All right, we'll stop asking about the snow.
Brock looks like he's having fun, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
I think
He wasn't always doing this, was he?
No, I don't think so. Whenever we talk to him a little bit there, and it's the same thing whenever we talk to Randy too, Orton, they had 20-year celebration, and it happens in the NFL too. It happens in all things. People do something, you have success, you get paid for it, you get to a different level. And this is not for everybody, but there's a lot of stories of this. People get jaded towards the entire thing at some point because they feel like they're either being used or everybody's out to get them or something bad has happened either business-wise or personal-wise. So just life happens to people, but you're still very good at what you do, so you're still going to be in the public eye because what you're very good at puts you in the public eye. And then it gets to a point, I think, for a lot of people where they see the end and it's like they start – I'm going to enjoy this meeting that I never enjoyed before because I felt like I was forced to be there. Like, I'm finally going to look at it as I get to be here as opposed to I have to be here because the end is near or whatever. The end could come at any point. I think that is a natural kind of parabola of a lot of people's emotions towards their particular professions or fields. And the parabolic curve seems to be natural among everybody that when you start enjoying everything, it's because you have a different perspective on it. And I think that is a gradual thing that happens for people.
It makes sense. And I mean, what's the old, a lot of the motivators out there online or whatever, the only thing you can control is your reaction to a situation. We can't control what's happening around us, but we can control how we view that and all of that stuff. So people that are super positive, yeah, I think that's contagious too, though. It breeds more positivity.
I want my kid to be an extrovert, positive person, but can you I think some people just have it, some people don't,
It's your kids are born who they are too. We can mold them and affect them, whatever, but they're born with their personalities. You can try to do whatever, but kids are they're going to be them, and I respect that actually.
I just feel like the same gene that drives you to work. Let's talk about Brock for a second. Brock is maybe the most athletic specimen to ever exist. Guy ran a 4.4 in jeans or something whenever he was training for the NFL. That freak. He's 285 pounds, has the ability to, but he grew up on a farm out in the middle of nowhere and just wrestled his brothers all the time and fought people. That's just what he did for his entire life. Hey, I'm looking to go fight people. That's what I'm trying to do. Just alpha, hilarious, tough person out of a movie is who Brock Lesnar is. That same gene that, just drive is the same one that makes him successful. And then at some point, something happens and you still are able to be as successful without enjoying it as much. I bet you once you find that enjoyment again and you're just as good, you said he looks like he's having the time of his life. I bet he is. I bet he is having a fucking blast at this whole thing,
I mean, if he's not, he's the greatest actor alive, and there's no way. He looks like he is, the stuff I watch of Brock, he's reacting to the crowd, legit, genuine smiles, laughing, and then just okay, what can I do now? He seems like he keeps trying to one-up himself.
Was a bad guy for 18 years straight. Untouchable guy. Went from one business to another, to public, to everything. This is the scariest human of all time. Which, by the way, still can be, and also be a hilarious and cool dude on the other side of it, which I think he has been this entire time, I believe. I don't know. I didn't know him back then. I was scared to death of him back then.
Different time.
Always put him up in the category of, hey, if these aliens want some fucking human shit, we got a guy. And it's going to be that guy. We're going to send him. And I remember thinking to myself whenever I was a child, or not a child, but in high school or college, and Brock was already in there, and Brock was already beating the fuck out of people in WWE. I was like, if I ever get WWE, there's only one person I'm not fucking I will stay clear of Brock Lesnar. I would. That dude seems to be scary as fuck. The couple weeks ago, when he took a chair to 15 security people, 15 security people in Brooklyn, and then he turned around, and there was still 30 seconds to kill on the show, and there was. What were they going to have? Just these security guys down. Brock turns around and because I think they tell him like, let's continue beating the fuck out of everybody. He turns around and makes eye contact with me with a chair, and I have never been more fucking scared in my life. And as he starts walking, as this wildebeest, okay, whatever this thing is, bigger, larger, faster, stronger than you are, built. Can't fit through a fucking door, this guy, any of them. Just naturally carrying around suitcases all the time. Is on a warpath with a chair. I almost shit my pants. I threw Michael Cole right into the fucking fire. I said, excuse me, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. He would have taken my head off with that chair. No doubt about it. And he's enjoying the hell out of himself, and that's great news.
Yeah, I think it was that same night. He threw that poor son of a bitch backstage into like a video board or something. He launched him so hard and so fast. Just, some stagehand. Yeah, security. Yeah, I think it was security. But, oh, my God, I saw that. I was like, well, that guy definitely was not expecting that to happen. Because, boy, that guy's probably still recovering.
Having the time of his life, dude. Having the time of his life. He's got the Lesnar blend right now. Makes everything taste better.
Delicious.
Jeez. A picture hit the internet the other day of him standing next to a completely skinned cow. And he is...
I saw that.
Just hanging out.
Look like a fucking movie. Did that not look like it was out of a movie? That's his life?
Yes.
His life. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Mac in Texas. What's going on, Mac?
How you doing?
Hey, keep it moving.
Yes, sir. Man, you guys had the stage. You had Dana White on talking about DeAndre Hopkins and the banned substance. I know he's had several of his stars pop. John Jones, T.J. Dillashaw, friend of the show, Sean O'Malley, Nate Diaz. I mean, a lot of them. That'd have been perfect to ask him.
Thanks, Mac.
Yeah, Jesus.
We dropped the ball today. See this, boys? Huh? Drop the ball.
Hate when that happens. Callers are good today.
Mac, you're right. God, where were you? Well,
But USADA, they're USADA tested. It's not with the UFC is separate, so they don't come up with the suspensions in the UFC and all that.
It doesn't matter, AJ.
We should ask.
Umbrella.
It was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What should we have asked? Let's throw it out there. What would
Hey,
you say?
Dana, HGH, all it's cracked up to be? What?
How do you test for it?
Maybe next time.
Yeah, do you test for it? Yeah, that's what we'd ask. Do you
He
test?
didn't know. It's USADA does the testing. He doesn't do it.
What's a USADA?
They hire USADA to do. They like do Olympic testing. and they took
United
over.
States Athletic Drug Administration.
Anti-doping agency?
They're anti-dope.
Whoa, I don't like USADA.
That might be up though. The USADA deal might be up. I think someone else might be testing them now.
ASADA?
Drug-free sport is the one that does all the piss testing for the NFL, I believe. I've seen a lot of their cups through my days.
I was randomly reminding my kids about them knocking the pee cups off our counter in our bathroom when I was getting tested because they were asking me. We mentioned something about DeAndre Hopkins. And they were like, how does that work? They got to watch you pee. I'm like, yeah, you guys have been in there watching me pee with him, knocking my pee cups off the counter.
Your kids did whenever they were young?
Yeah, they were young and came to the house here, and I only had 2 kids at the time. And I was like, hey, man, sorry, my wife's not here. They're not going to leave me here in her bathroom with you. It's already weird enough. So they hung out, and they're like grabbing his papers and stuff. It wasn't easy.
That is awesome. I told them I got tested in a hotel. I think I got tested in a gas station, bathroom. Obviously in my own house, just like you. They'll get you whenever they need to get you, especially if you're in the substance of abuse program. They were trying out a new tester in Indianapolis, and the old tester literally tested me 160 times throughout our years together. This guy, he had seen my dick a lot. We had pissed together a lot. He's a good guy. I enjoyed him a lot. But he was the only tester, it felt like, for Indiana. But also, they have to test anybody that's not on an NFL roster, but still in the NFL world within Indiana. So like semi-retired, maybe NFL guys still have to get annually tested, could get a random test if you're not on a team, but you live in the area. Like Louisville is still in there. So he was testing a bunch of people. So they were trying out somebody new. And this guy, I ended up being able to piss like 2.5 hours into the 4-hour window. And by the way, that was something when I was getting tested every single day, potentially. I'd wake up and not piss in the morning to save my piss, just in case I was going to get drug tested at some point in the morning. It literally was the first thing I thought about every single day of my life for 27 months. It was a fucking nightmare. It was my own fault. Shouldn't have went to the dance floor. Shouldn't have went to the dance floor. I should have just went home.
Every time.
I was 2.5 hours into the 4-hour part, and this guy was auditioning for the gig. He was scared to death, this guy. Scared to death. Hands shaking, literally, because you have to pour the piss into one cup and then into a backup cup, and then you have to seal it, and you have to do this whole thing. Guy just spilled the piss, right on the papers and onto the desk. So you're gonna have to produce another. So in the next hour and a half, I had to produce a piss for him, or that would have been a missed test. That would have been a fail, and he spilled the fucking thing. It was a nightmare situation. Give me a Pedialyte. God damn it, I'll bong one, I guess. Just started chugging things, but then it can't be too hydrated because then they can't submit it. It was an interesting.
You should have offered to give him a stool sample.
I'll take shit right here, right now. Fucking put it in there. Send it. Can you do that?
I know someone that had to go, and the tester said, "All right." He's like, "Well, okay, well, I gotta take a dump." And the dude sat there and dumped as he peed into his cup and handed it to the guy watching him. Pretty bad situation.
Yeah, the whole thing is a bad situation.
Power move by that player.
Yeah.
Great guy too. Honestly, a very good guy. But he's like, "I'm sorry, man, I gotta go."
Beast. Power play.
Yeah. For real. Can you imagine?
That piss tester's life is already a piss tester's life. You know? Their life is what it is, where they're collecting pee. Mm-hmm. That guy tells the story of one day, this fucking asshole.
Explosive diarrhea. You got to stand there and watch the kid.
Yeah, because you don't know if it's actual his piss or not if you don't watch the urine leave the tip of the penis.
The whole time, too, and watch you finish.
Bro. The amount of times I've had to stand like this in front of a guy. All right. And then he watches, and then I have to piss it in the cup, and he even gives a little, how do you do it? All right.
Step brothers leaning around.
All right. Please put it on the counter thing. Okay.
Think how many guys were like Antonio Brown have just been farting the whole time.
Excuse me. Wash your hands, you say. Then you can lift your pants up. It's a whole process. Imagine doing that in a public hotel, like in a lobby.
I mean, I did that in the Super Bowl when it was in New York. I got tested in the stall in the crowded bathroom.
Yep. Just two dudes walking. Hey, nothing to see here. Take them down all the way down.
Like 50 people there, too.
Shirt needs to be above the nipples. Above the nipples, please. We need to see a good piece of skin there from nips to ankles. All the things in between.
I mean, that's true. That's honestly, it's real.
Yes, I'm a master at it. 207 of them. We'll be back tomorrow with a much better show, hopefully. Chris Mad Dog Russo says next.
There it is.
He screws.
Yeah, the piss testing process is wild. That guy's shaking his hand and fucking spilling the piss.
That's ridiculous.
I've never seen anything like it. Like the whole thing.
Well, and if you were to have a mistest because of that, how does that work?
Well, then
you would have a good appeal, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but then who's right? The guy that was drunk on the streets at 4 a.m. or this piss tester?
Yeah. I know. Believe me, it's a terrible situation. I'm glad you could muster up another one.
I was pretty good at pissing on command. Mm-hmm. I was pretty good. I've gotten pretty good at it. Yeah. I can let it eat, just about anywhere. I guess there's people that can't.
Really?
I can, yeah. Always been able to.
Oh, like people have like stage fright and they can't pee at a public urinal?
Yeah.
What were they doing at the old troughs that they used to have at Three Rivers?
Well, in Ohio, people jump into those. That's what Ohio people do.
What do you mean?
Cleveland Browns games, Cleveland Guardians games. I believe
people are jumping in the troughs.
Look it up. Just put Cleveland trough. I bet you there'll be like 5 videos. Yeah,
delicacy in Cleveland.
It's the Ohio thing to do. It's like, the Ohio Turnpike. You know what I mean?
Oh man, the only time I've been to Brown Stadium when I was playing there for the Packers and the Bengals, I believe.
So you're saying you didn't jump in any troughs?
I don't think I would be, sliding through a trough.
Those are probably out of towners too, not from Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're probably from Ohio. Probably diehard fans. They got a big win, man. They're excited. What are you supposed to do?
I think it was second quarter.
Mm-hmm. Score a touchdown.
Yeah, nice touchdown.
Mm-hmm. I just got disgusted thinking about it.
Yeah, it's gross.
Lusion in the fucking
around. Oh my god.
Asia's probably giving guys swirlies in that thing.
And when's the Derby? This weekend?
Yeah. This weekend, yeah.
Are you going, AJ?
I'm not going, no.
Whoa.
What's that all about?
Friendship on the ropes?
Uh-oh.
I don't think Aaron's going to be there, but there's a lot of
Whoa! This is an annual annual tradition.
Yeah.
Devontae.
This is not good.
You've won 11 years in a row.
This is not good.
I don't know if he has he?
No,
Yeah.
you and him.
The odds are going to move for the Packers for sure.
Remember the hand?
Is this guy all right?
Yeah, I remember.
What about your sack
cool
of cigars, dude?
He might be going. He might go.
He's
You all right?
Oh,
Damn, he's not bringing you.
I think he's all right.
AJ just realized it.
Wow, AJ.
He's riding the adjudicator down to the.
What did I just realize?
That you said something wrong. Oh, he might go.
Yeah.
Oh no! Talking about his personal life.
I said I'm not going.
Oh, yeah, and then you
Then he
said
said he wasn't.
Yeah, but if you're not going.
Like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on around here.
Oh, he hates you now.
Oh,
A lot of tournaments and out of town tournaments and stuff like that.
Man,
All in the same.
I wonder who
weekend.
got your invite. You think?
I don't know. It's a good question. We should brainstorm.
AJ
See who
Dillon.
got
I
it.
know.
Probably Mai Tai. Mai Tai's already there. He
Yeah, I was
doesn't
going
need
to say he doesn't need
You're
a
already
backup
there.
invite.
Maybe Christian Watson.
Look at AJ and Aaron connecting hands.
They're pretty
That
cool.
was
I would
just
like
a
to let
year
everybody
ago.
know that this is what Aaron looked like this time last year, and then he go on to win an MVP. Remember the conversation was he looks very thin.
He did.
Super skinny.
That was the conversation. He looked very thin. He just got done with Pancha Karma.
That's right.
Right before Kentucky Derby, emptied the system out so he could get them mint juleps down there and have a good old time.
What we should have realized is he probably held his hand up for, I don't know, 45 minutes because AJ loves taking photos. Probably made them take about 200 of them. And really, his stamina with his right arm
Is
was
what?
unmatched.
Yeah, and that's what led him to winning another MVP.
Yes.
So why aren't you going?
I don't know. Like I've said 14 times before, a lot of different activities and tournaments happening.
Sounds like a guy who didn't get invited.
Probably the
That's not the
linebacker they
case.
drafted probably is what got him.
No, it's probably that Charles or James Chadwick.
Christian Watson.
Yeah, probably him.
Yeah, and Quay Walker.
Chris, Chad,
One of them.
Christian.
We're gonna get there.
I was gonna get there at some point. What's his name? Watson.
Yeah, Christian Watson.
North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Looks like a dog.
Looks like a dog.
He's going. He's probably going down to Kentucky Derby.
Yeah,
Maybe.
hang out with the new
Maybe.
teammates.
That's what this text was.
Yeah, Watson's dad tells Dom Izzo. Okay, Dom Izzo with the inside scoop. Dom Izzo, WDAY. Watson's dad tells me that the first person to text Christian after being drafted by Green Bay, Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Yeah, and the text actually said, "Hey, Christian, Kentucky Derby,
AJ's out.
1 week.
AJ's losing.
Fuck AJ Hawk. You're my new best friend. Let's go win a fucking Super Bowl after the Derby."
All right, he might have been that positive in that text, or maybe he says, "We'll find out if it will be worth a fuck next week at the Kentucky Derby."
Boom. See
Maybe
how
it's
many-
like this is a trial by combat situation.
Oh, see how many mint juleps he can drink.
Oh, maybe, or maybe how many he turns down. How many cigars does he smoke?
Make sure you bring a bag of scars. Is probably what Aaron said.
Oh, what if he doesn't bring a bag of cigars? You think he won't throw him the ball as much?
No, I think it'd be all right. But yeah, that's a valuable position. You need to bring something to the table, and I would bring 2 big Ziplocs full of cigars.
Hey, had a baby.
There you go.
Mainly for myself, but yeah, everyone else. Everyone else could have whatever they wanted. But yeah,
Hey, in the cigar community, let's say you
I'm
and
not in that community. But what about it?
Come on,
Yeah, you
dude. Shut
you're
up.
one of the faces. You're literally
When
one of
do
the
I-
faces
okay.
of it.
You were on Cigar Aficionado magazine
.com.
cover November 2020.
I very rarely ever have a cigar with another human in the same room.
Yeah, but you're having a cigar right now with a couple thousand people at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I enjoy them. What about it?
30. You're having a cigar with 35,000 people. What the fuck are you doing? You people watching this.
Jesus.
What is your deal? This has maybe been our worst show yet.
In a long, long time.
Honestly,
No, they're all waiting for us to bring up Mr. Belding again.
How do you
That
keep
was
such
a good
good
tease.
complexion with smoking all those cigars? It's got good skin.
Lotion, you lotion a lot?
It's not like cigs.
Kids' blood.
Cigs, don't they mess up your? They can mess up your skin if you smoke for 40 straight
Nah,
years.
cigs make you fucking invincible to everything.
That's not true. That is misinformation on this program. Do not smoke cigs. There's no reason to smoke cigs. In the cigar community, though, let's say you and another cigar person meet at old Jackie Danielson's down here.
Sure.
What's that one place called? There's actually
Oh, Nikki Blaine's.
Nikki Blaine's.
Jackie Daniels.
Nikki Blaine's. All right, there's an N, an E, an L, an S. I mean,
Yep,
there's a
yep.
lot of Nikki Blaine's. We go down to Nikki Blaine's, a cigar place downtown here. Can I just pull out my pre-roll in smoke? Is that like a okay thing, or you like? Is that
Your pre-roll with marijuana or CBD in it?
yes?
You could try. I don't know. Maybe they'll let it go if it smells like a cigar.
But you cigar people wouldn't kick me out. Fuck the
You
Jackie
think
Daniels.
I'm gonna kick somebody out?
No, I'm just saying. Is that like how you guys view it as a smoke sesh? Like people just, hey, you could come smoke anything. Is that how the
I
cigar
don't think.
people?
No, I don't think you can go in there and smoke cigs.
Oh, really?
That's bullshit.
See, it's not like a smoker's circle. It's like,
See, I think
we
you-
are cigar smokers.
I think you can smoke either.
Really? At the cigar places?
I don't know if Jackie Daniels.
No, not at the
wants
cigar
people
place.
smoking cigs inside
Come
there.
on, Jackie. Get it together. They smell the same.
Because there's a cigar person that doesn't do much that I wanted to invite to something. I was like, oh, maybe we could do just a cigar thing. But then it's like, can I just smoke my weed there,
Yeah.
I wonder, as opposed to having to fake smoke these cigars to be a part of the conversation. Then that was where I led into this whole thought. Like, I don't know if is it just a smoking thing? Like you guys just like sitting around smoking and talking?
I don't know. I don't go to those. Like I've been to a few. There's a place in Dallas I went with my buddy a year or two ago. It was awesome. You could sit down and it's a really nice place. It's like a steakhouse, but you can sit there and smoke at your table. So we sat there. I had 2 cigars, got my food, had one after dinner. It was great.
Wow, 3 cigars in a
Christ.
2-hour period. That's unbelievable. That's amazing. Your stamina to blow through those things.
Well, it was like a special occasion. Like it was a thing.
No,
I was
yeah.
like, all right, let's soak this in. Let's spend some time here. I've never been to a place like this.
Yeah, that seems like a cool thing to be a part of. Though. Like people go to do coffee, they do this with coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like cigar people do this. You know, these are like little
That's
gatherings.
what, it's like anything. Same thing with you and CBD, right? It brings people together. It gives you a reason to hang out instead of just, hey, let's just stand here and talk.
Well, that was what I was wondering. Can we join forces? Can I? You know,
Absolutely. I think they should be. They should all become one.
I think the cigar and the marijuana smoking community could become.
See, I think personally,
Seems like a more similar.
like in states that are legal, I think marijuana smokers would be pissed if you brought a cigar in and started smoking your cigar in their marijuana shop. Because it smells much different.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to do that, you'd have to maybe perhaps go back. I mean, you don't do this
I
anymore.
can't fucking wait, by the way, to walk right down the street. I'll take 2 pre-rolls, please, of the sativa right there. Give me that 3-pack of edibles for today. I'll take a green tea, please, and a piece of gum.
See you tomorrow.
And I will see you at this exact same time tomorrow. And I might need a refuel on this lighter in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Thank you so much for everything. That's coming.
Yeah.
That is coming. Maybe not to Indiana. Probably gonna have to move for that. But that is coming around the corner. When I was getting weed just delivered to me at the hotel where was that, California? Weed showed up in a Tesla with a very nice person in a bag that had like a gift, it was Christmas delivered to me. I was like, this is amazing.
it's the future. Build up a pretty good collection at the Super Bowl too, out there.
Yeah, you gotta do that because you gotta smoke it all in that state, obviously.
Yep.
You can't travel with it,
Nope.
but you gotta take advantage of it as much as you possibly can because you don't want to have to. You want to get to the point where it's like, oh, I don't want to smoke anymore when I go back to Indiana because it's not legal.
Because I can't.
Yeah, because I can't do that.
Pretty simple.
We'll get there.
Illinois, very legal though. Take a trip there
Yep.
often.
Michigan, pretty close, also
Boom.
legal.
Ohio, hey, you guys are getting sports gambling soon, right?
You said we are, right? Like what does soon mean? Though?
You're there?
I am here.
Can you put up a pin that says Ohio? Like you're in Ohio right now. What are you hearing? Do you not? Are they? Aren't you in with the Senators
I
and
do.
stuff?
Drink my coffee and read the old school paper every morning. I haven't seen much on it yet.
Yeah, but you're down at the Chop House with the Senators.
Yeah. I'm not. But honestly, I have no idea what's going on in Ohio. You know way more than I do.
We do not. Does General Bob Carpenter have any ideas? Does he have any insiders over there?
I'd have to ask him. I don't know.
Can we call General Bob right now?
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah,
General,
call him. Bob will probably answer.
What do you think Bob's doing right now?
Installing a
Lifting
beautiful
weights.
new HVAC system.
Does he have a class right now?
Is he
He
teaching?
might be teaching.
Professor Carp
Clanging and banging.
with his TRT.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Because
Probably.
it's TRT.
Hoy! Hoy!
Oi!
TRT! Hoy! Hoy!
Saw Bob and Schlegel Saturday night, actually.
What's that, pal?
Saw Bob and Schlegel Saturday. Schlegel actually told me about this really nice sled that I can put some weight on and walk backwards with, so I actually ordered it right there on the spot.
Oh, really? Can you send me that link? I'd like to buy that. How far do you have to walk with it?
Well, no, it's a whole thing, but yeah, it's a thing I want to get into.
Like the Liver King.
What?
Do you put it outside or inside?
Usually outside. Unless you have like a 50-yard turf field in your house.
What's your problem? Will you just send us the link so we can do it too?
Sure, it's just a sled, but it's a good sled that won't tear up my yard.
Perfect for the Thunderdome.
Perfect for the Thunderdome. We'll be dragging those things from one baseline to the other.
Yeah. And I mean outside with the field.
And also, we'll all be on
TRT! Oi! 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 TRT! Oi! I'm never tired! Oi! TRT! Oi! Recover fast! TRT! Oi!
My head is red.
DRT.
You were at his house to see if like a 5-man sled outside too, or
No, he's not hitting any bags out there that I seen. None of them were set up because he had to have the Colt Carnival set up.
Yeah. When are you gonna force Axel in the weight room like you did your other kids?
I don't force any of them in there.
That's not true.
They like to get around. They like to mess around and pick
They
up
told
weights
us.
and do push-ups and stuff.
Hey, if you want to talk to Dad ever, gonna have to come fucking move some weights. I'm down here.
They love coming down the weight room. It's the first thing they do when they get up. That's when I know they're up. Like they'll come down and throw stuff around.
What time are you getting into that weight room every morning? I know it's different. I don't set a alarm.
I do set an alarm. Yes, I absolutely do. I mean between 5 and 5:15.
Okay.
They come down at like sometimes they come down at like 6, which they're supposed to wait. But yeah, they like to clang and bang in the morning.
They're supposed to wait. Dad needs until at least 6:30. All right, Dad needs a little bit more time. What time's the alarm? 5 o'clock?
I change it every day.
That's psychotic.
That's what we were just talking about.
5:03, 5:07, 5:12.
Like that.
5:11, yeah, all
Yes.
Okay, so it's in the. Okay, so I'm sorry I even asked in the 5 o'clock era. It is in that time period though. Okay, so one snooze, no snooze.
Yeah, I'll snooze every once in a while for sure.
Exhausted though, when you're like.
But like snooze, not even like a snooze. Okay, usually if I set my alarm early, like 5:03, boom, turn that one off. I'll set in one for 5:12 and then get up and go.
Okay, so you're not even snoozing. You're setting 2 alarms already ahead of time. You don't.
No. I won't hit snooze. I'll turn that alarm off. Okay, boom. Yeah, let's do 10, 11 more minutes. And then I'll set another one, and then I'll get up.
You're not living on their time. You set your own fucking time. I get it. Okay, no clock is going to wake you up, or no countdown's going to wake you up. I get it. You exhausted when you get up? Yeah, fucking exhausted, dead tired, or you?
Yeah, like I wish as I got older, you got easier and easier. You know how a lot of people like are older, they're like, oh, I can't sleep past 5 if I wanted to. I'm like, well, I definitely could. Like that's not me. I could.
Yeah, 5 a.m.'s fucking wildly early though. You know that.
Yeah, it is. But like
for somebody that doesn't have to.
It's not. It definitely helps me, especially as I get older. If I get to sleep at a decent time, I wake up very easily then. But if I don't fall asleep till late, which happens a lot, then it's a little harder.
So you run on like 5 hours, 4 hours of sleep every single day. You're wondering why you're falling asleep while you're driving. All
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, some people.
Yeah, I wake up exhausted. You should see me when I get behind the wheel. I'm fucking
driving my
dead
kids home.
tired, dude. I'm fucking dead tired.
You have your gym outfit laid out the night before. Or you got to figure that out in the morning when you wake up.
I mean, I don't have a gym outfit. I
What do
just
you wear?
Wear clothes and go.
That's what I mean.
You don't match for. You got to start posting these. You got to start posting on Instagram.
I did have my tuxedo T-shirt on working out the other day, and my wife and her friends came in because they come a couple days a week with a dude and work out, and so I didn't realize I had it on.
How big's your gym?
It's not very big.
So you
I wish
are
it was. I know I leave. I got to be done by the time they get in.
Oh, you can't take it. You fucking hate everything they do.
Yikes.
You hate.
No, I just don't want to. That's my time, man. I don't want to be messing. I'm not talking to people. Like that's legit. I'll freak out if I don't have that time.
So you wake up 5:03 to 5:12 ish. Get down to the gym 5:15. No later than that.
Yeah, usually.
When the lights on at 5:15, are you doing a pre-workout? Are you sitting down motivating yourself? Or are you jumping right the fuck in?
Jumping right? Are you kidding me? I'm going right. No, I don't mess around. What am I wasting time?
Well, I thought
So
you
no
said,
coffee
let's get a little
before?
stretch here.
No
Okay.
pre-workout.
No coffee?
don't you watch Gary V's morning walk talk and then you start working out?
I can do that while I'm doing like old man cardio if I want.
Okay, so you start with old man cardio?
Yeah, usually like some incline walk, old guy up, maybe sprint on the elliptical, jump over to the Versa, and then boom, start jacking some weight.
And this is as soon as you wake up, you're doing this? 5:15?
Yeah, I mean, some days I feel better than others, though. You know that.
Okay, I do know that because everybody, I guess, does. You're working out till 6:30. The kids, though, fucking can't. They can't take a clue. Get the fuck. They sometimes come in at 6:30.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean we're done. Like that, then I just have to, manage a little bit. Hey, don't cut your fingers off when you're trying to pick up the dumbbells and stuff like that.
Oh, you're working out till 7?
Yeah, usually because 7 is when like the kids need to be up if they're not.
Okay, so then breakfast is upstairs immediately following that.
Yeah, run up there and do all that. Yeah.
7, do all that. Get them ready for school.
Yeah, which is a task in itself. Yeah, 4 kids getting ready for school, book bags that are 700 pounds. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so that's going 7:30, 7:45?
Yeah, get out. I usually get out. We take off by 7:40 at the latest.
Okay, 7:40, you're going, dropping them off at school. You're coming back at 8 o'clock and doing what, murdering people?
I mean, I wish 8 o'clock. No, with COVID, they started going to a different school a couple years ago. So it's a little bit of a haul to take them all to school.
Oh, yeah, that's right. AJ said if I have to get my kids a jab, then I'm switching schools. And
Nope. When COVID started last year,
I think
when COVID started, their school was shut down. It was all virtual. So we said they want to be in class. So we went to a place that was in class the whole time.
Yeah, the kids and the parents want the kids to be in class. So we are going to go.
No one learns. Yeah, no one's learning sitting on a Zoom.
No one.
No
one.
Who wants to teach that way either?
So you're back 8:45, 9 o'clock from dropping off the kids at their super nice school that was back before everybody else because they said, "What's COVID?"
I mean, if it's I don't know if I come back home after that or not.
Oh, what are you doing after that? You going to get a little brunch, a little
You
breakfast?
got to get whatever. If you got to get stuff done, I got to go meet with people or do something before I come back and get ready for the show. But
to the
sometimes though,
arcade.
if I feel like I got cut off in my workout in the morning, like a couple days a week, when my wife comes in at 6:30. And I feel like I'm not done. That's when I come back in and got to finish up.
This fucking trainer.
Insane.
My wife, her friends, this trainer doing their fucking bullshit.
I like them all. No, I like her friends. And the trainer I used to work out with all the time, he is an absolute freak of nature. He's a monster. I love him, and he knows that too. But like, I don't need to. I'm not doing the same things they're doing. It's not a big weight room.
All right. I'm trying to start my morning routine so I can, become a guy.
What time do you actually go to bed? Are you going to bed at midnight?
No, I don't go to bed. I'll lay down before that.
No,
but
fall asleep.
Yeah, I don't fall asleep before midnight that often.
Oh, Jesus.
You're an absolute psychopath.
That's insane.
You're awesome.
No, I mean, I definitely want to, and I try to, but it just doesn't happen very often. Getting kids, getting them to bed, which we try to get them to bed decently early, but we have a ton of sports and stuff, so we get home late.
Do you drink coffees all day?
I used to drink a lot more coffee than I do. Some days I don't drink any coffee. Some days I do.
So you're just on HGH?
No, I drink this little mixture, the aminos and Spark and everything. I like that.
All day you drink that?
I'll sip on it and add ice to it all day, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Just drinking an energy drink basically all day. That's healthy for you, though.
What's Spark, a street
Probably
drug?
not.
Spark's that.
That's old school. Drew Brees, Advocare.
What?
Spark? I make I make a mixture of some arginine and everything, yeah.
Oh, here we
Arginine?
go. So arginine not being tested for by the NFL. How about anything else?
Arginine, yeah, it's a muscle repair. It's legal.
Yeah, it's a muscle repair.
Yeah,
It's
antler
good.
spray.
I drink it because it tastes good.
Of course.
It's not like it gets me all jacked up.
Oh, kind of. You sip on it all day to keep you jacked
Make
up.
sure you don't fall asleep.
Because it tastes good, yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Well, I mean, I grew up drinking Mountain Dew in bed. Like, caffeine doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, do your kids drink pop?
They would love to. We don't let them drink a ton of it, but they love having Sprite every once in a
I
while.
feel like that's definitely changed. We used to drink so much pop.
So much.
Yeah, so much.
I used to order the big 30 cube of Pepsi or Mountain Dew and drink all the cans.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big Sprite guy now. I think
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so delicious. It is the perfect one. I drank Mountain Dew, obviously, throughout periods whenever everybody was housing Mountain Dew, and it gave you that caffeine high. That was just absurd. Dr. Pepper had a little bit of a run with me, I think.
yeah.
McDonald's Coke.
Really had a run. Wheat tea had a run with me there for a bit, although it's a completely different conversation, and that should be mixed with lemonade. Like a third lemonade, 2/3 iced tea, I think, is the proper mixture. But Sprite seems to have it all figured out, I think.
You make Shirley Temple, put grenadine in there.
Oh, delicious.
Love Shirley
Just
Temple.
a splash.
My kids do that if we go out to eat sometimes. If they, can you get a special drink? Yeah.
And you get you get a dirty Shirley?
A what?
A dirty Shirley.
No.
Shirley's a little bit
Shirley Temple with alcohol.
looser.
I went to a bar mitzvah when I was a kid, and they had Shirley Temples. It was the first time I'd ever heard of grenadine or Shirley Temples, and I've been hooked ever since.
Oh, so you're a Shirley Temple guy?
I mean, I don't really have them ever, but like they are so good.
Okay.
I would.
I had you remember, Nick, you remember when I had that woo-woo run?
Oh yeah.
What's woo-woo?
Woo-woo.
Makes all, yeah.
Yeah, it's like cranberry, vodka,
Cranberry vodka.
and I think they had some sort of peach something.
Woo-woo.
I used to say, can I get a woo-woo? Just because I enjoyed ordering it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody thought it's an actual name of a drink, though. Woo-woo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I couldn't even imagine walking in. Can I get 5 Shirley Temples? Like, that had to feel
Delicious.
so cool. Like saying, can I get 100 woo-woos for me and all my friends? That was a blast. That was a good era. God,
The bartender would look at him like he had 10 heads. What?
Good God.
it's coming down outside. I think there's a lot of woo-woos falling on us
There's a
right now.
there's a hail warning for today, so.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. I appreciate everybody being so nice to me the last day and a half on the internet. You can stop. Be me now. Be a lot better.
Go back.
Go back. We got all the announcements of the winners tomorrow, Winning Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Cash App.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go to SeatGeek, buy tickets for something. This summer's going to be awesome. We might as well go experience. It's been a couple years we haven't been able to really live. Go out and live.
Yeah.
Live.
What?
How about Dana White? He wanted to get into a COVID discussion there.
Oh, yeah.
I almost mentioned when he said CNN. I almost said something about CNN Plus that shut down after 3 weeks. I'm sure he would have been juiced.
That's unbelievable stuff. I mean, just as somebody that pays attention to the digital world, because I have to, because there's a lot of conversations that are happening.
$300 million.
Less than 10,000 subscribers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That's a tough one.
People are paying $300 million for less than 10,000 subscribers. That's what I heard. That's fucking unbelievable.
They paid $300 million to launch the whole thing, right?
Yeah, think about how fucking inept you have to be. Think about that. You got to be so fucking dumb.
Costs like $9 million a day.
So, a guy named Logan Roy once said to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or whatever, how the fuck am I supposed to trust a word that you're saying when you just dove headfirst into the shallow end of a pool and broke your face? That's what we should maybe think about to some of these people of, hey, how the fuck are we supposed to take you serious when you spent $300 million and weren't able to get 10,000 people to watch your shit? Like, I think we should start doing it, not just in this particular case, okay? And this seems very, very direct. But I think we should do that as a whole almost. Like, hey, you insert name of terrible decision or thing, terrible idea that you have had and absolutely failed. I'm going to treat you as such. And that has kind of been an interesting thing through all these negotiations, with me and my conversations with people. Didn't you put insert name of person here on something here and think it was going to be a home run? Yeah. Okay. So so there has been some things that have been decided by you that haven't worked out, right? I'd assume. And that's quite an interesting thing. Can I get past working with somebody that has done that? I don't know. I don't know if I can. That's on me. I'm sorry. That's whenever I go to bed at night. When I'm laying around, that's what I have to think about, and it's a gift and a curse. Sounds awesome. Sounds like we can move forward, but also that chapter's always going to be there for you, and that's an interesting thing. I don't know what to do. That's tough. It's very tough, AJ. You
got to own it. They have to own it and tell you, somehow give you an explanation of why it happened. But the guy that started that is gone. He had to step down from CNN. They got bought by whoever, and see ya.
Discovery. Of course.
He stepped down because of other reasons, not CNN Plus. But yeah.
What, the Zoom? Was he the guy who's
tubing? Is he cranking it?
No. What's his name? Yeah, he was having a relationship with a worker or something.
Of course you know about it.
Yeah, of course I know about it. The head of CNN had to step down. It was a giant deal.
I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Nope,
Okay?
I know. I'm just saying. Thank you. I'm trying to bring a perspective here.
Okay. Well, thank you for informing me of that piece of information. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have to be terrible to negotiate with, now that I'm thinking about it.
Well,
could you imagine?
I mean, all you have to do is accept the previous decisions you've made. So if those are the decisions you've made, it's not your fault.
But what about the decisions we've made? I mean, look what we've done. I haven't even thought about that. I should think about that more often. All right, I'm going to brainstorm. Let's continue the brainstorm.
Hell yeah.
We'll continue to evolve and get better.
Hell yeah.
How much jerky do you eat when you're on keto?
Well, that's the thing. I'm on keto, so.
Unlimited.
You're going to be so sick of keto by about 6 p.m.
You don't understand keto.
Wait, why aren't you doing I thought you liked the intermittent fasting.
I did, but, dude, I eat so much in that little window. It doesn't,
cancels
but
it out.
Can you fill up on enough meat with that? Sometimes it's hard. You can eat 5 steaks and not get full.
So Sam has this incredible keto cookie that has 1.5 gram per or 2 grams per. So normally I'll have 5 of those at the end of the night because my sweet tooth comes in and kills me. But I guess you try to stay under 20 grams of carbs a day is really if you want to go and get it. I mean, I think that Kim Kardashian, she was on ketosis for, she lost 16 pounds or something like that.
Wow.
Or she lost 16 pounds to wear the dress that she wore to the Met Gala because it was Marilyn Monroe's.
Mm-hmm.
Marilyn Monroe. So she went on ketosis, lost 16 pounds to get into that dress or something like that.
I didn't know that. Did you learn that on her new Hulu show?
No, it was on the internet fucking everywhere. This Met Gala thing happened last night.
Oh, yeah.
What is this? Can somebody explain? AJ, you know what
was Tom Brady there?
Was this the actual, was this the thing that,
Lenny Kravitz?
That's Lenny Kravitz, yep.
Dressed like a normal 55-year-old.
Mm-hmm. At the Met, for sure. So can we zoom in on that photo there? So this is the Met. What is this, AJ? You've probably been invited to this numerous times. What is it's the gathering of the elites of the elite?
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be a fundraiser.
It's a fashion thing, though, right? This is big time in the fashion community.
Show off.
So
what happens inside, though?
Well, I don't know. Has anybody ever been told?
Are there performances?
Is he performing tomorrow? Is he performing in that outfit at the thing?
I don't think so. I think it's like a dinner charity event type deal, but it just is like of the hoity-toity people.
Who speaks? Like, does he give a speech?
I think there's like a president of the Met.
Oh, who's
or chairman?
It's a cocktail hour and a formal dinner.
Yes.
What is that?
Is that Nick Lachey? Who is that?
That's the Winter Soldier.
I
I
was
don't know
gonna
his
say,
name.
Sebastian Stan.
There it is.
Can you go full screen on these?
Is he from O-Town?
Oh my God! No, was that O-Town? What was O-Town? O-Town.
Girls in the Summer, right? Abercrombie and Fitch?
That's LFO. God, this could be LFO though. We don't know. What is this? This is a Captain America.
Yeah, as a superhero, Winter Soldier.
He also
Oh.
played
Captain America
Tommy
boy.
Lee and Pam and Tommy.
Bro, he looks so fucking cool right here.
Yeah.
Are those another pair of sunglasses in his hand?
I believe that's someone's shoe.
In the back?
behind him.
Who are all the photographers in the tuxes? That's just the entire paparazzi world?
Yeah, I think they
This
gotta
is their
dress up.
Super Bowl too?
They got to dress up. To
So
go
they
to.
we trying to get back to the old school boxy suits or what?
I don't know. Let's go to the next
just
person.
wait.
Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Is that Michael
Mitt?
Phelps?
Bad Bonnie.
Bad Bonnie.
A
Bad
lot of people were asking if this was Mitt.
That does look like Mitt, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mitt Babani San Benito. So what is there two people there? Is he like standing on somebody's shoulders?
No, this is just the style. There's a few that are kind of like this.
He looks awesome.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook was there.
Okay, yeah, we seen him. There he is. There's Brody. He's
looks
wearing a
sick.
kilt.
Yeah, looks like
Yeah, and a top hat.
A kilt and a top hat there.
Sweet.
Looks like Wonka.
That ain't Willy Wonka. Do you get judged? Like, do you get a prize for winning the fashion?
Finding out now.
Dwayne Wade, Super Miami, right here.
With the
look at
cane and
Kane.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks awesome.
I don't think there's a prize. I think it's judged the next day as best and worst looks of the Met Gala.
Oh, like what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
So there's no prize there for the best look,
Nope.
best dress.
No.
So they're not giving out awards to each other. Isn't that what all these people do? They like getting around each other and giving awards to each other and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, this is the one.
Apparently, they made up to 2021. They made $16.4 million. $30,000 tickets, and tables are $200,000.
That's how much that chain cost, by the way. 16.4
But are
million.
these stars? They're not paying the $200,000. They're invited, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's how they get the other people to come, right?
$650,000 chain that he wore, and it's part of 3 chains. Let's
Is it
go.
his though? It's probably just for the event.
Probably.
Yeah. That
A lot of the
also
stuff they wear
happens.
just for the event.
Yeah.
Zoom in on that right photo. After 650,
That's as far as I can go.
After 650 carats.
Feels so heavy on the
650,000.
neck.
Feels so heavy on the neck.
Feels like he bought that. We saw his fucking closet, dude.
Yeah, he might have.
The baby OBJ. Is that Lizzo?
Yeah, with a flute.
Oh, that is
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
Did she play that at all? Was How come
Wait till she turns around.
she got her cheeks out like she did at the Lakers game?
No way.
I'm
Really?
waiting for
Not
her
at
for the
the
Chiefs.
Met,
I'll
dude.
find out more, though.
She was cheeks out at that Lakers game.
Oh, yeah.
If she did that at the Met, they would have kicked her out. That's future.
Is that a kilt?
I think it's a one piece.
Shorts.
Yeah.
He's wearing shorts.
It's hard to tell from here.
Is that the penguin back?
Fuck
of the
it, mask
jacket?
off.
Is
I
that
was gonna
chainmail
say.
gloves?
Good question.
Oh yeah.
Those gloves match the dress in the back there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, you can just wear whatever the hell you want, obviously.
Well, it's fashion. You don't.
Fashion, dude.
You don't get it.
There's like a theme every year, and I forget.
Elon Musk was there.
Whoa.
Who's he
Classy.
with?
Is that?
Is that his alien mom?
I think that is his mom.
That's his mom.
So she's not real either.
Take me to that planet, Elon.
Whoa, because he's from what, South Africa? Can we go back to Elon? Hold on. Let's.
Yeah, he's a-
that looks awesome.
He's a brew. He's a brew.
So Elon Musk, does he always go to the Met? Because don't all these people hate him, right? All those people told him.
Well, at least publicly they do.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if you remember last year, AOC wore a tax the rich dress to the Met. So I think a lot of times not everybody's on the same page.
Oh, you're saying all fugazi, everything fugazi.
Yeah, a lot of fugazi.
Elon Musk not fugazi. That's an alien, and that's his mom alien.
Yep.
What if that was just his What if that was just his brew from the other planet just came back?
been. That'd be sick.
Hey, just need you to dress up like my mom tonight. Is that cool? Yeah, got your brew.
And he slides into the head.
Goes into the dress.
I assume too when he goes to these now that he owns Twitter and he knows that hey, I know all your guys' stuff behind the scenes on your Twitter, so don't you even think about coming at me.
Oh, I am the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
I am the captain now of the Met. That's why I would dress just as normal as possible. What's he? What a fuck! He's wearing a tux. What a loser! What a loser. Okay.
Yes.
I love it.
That's the last
Pretty
one.
sweet.
Yeah, Kid Cudi looks sick.
Zoom in on that. He doesn't smoke weed anymore, right?
I don't think so.
I think he's back on it.
Is he
What
back?
happened? I think so.
That a baby kid. Thank you, Cuddy. Appreciate you, Cuddy, coming back. He looks awesome.
Yeah, it's an awesome cape.
Is that what you're wearing, AJ, when you get invited with the look at the wrist, the what's that called? The designer
cummerbund?
The puff? No, the loose like wizard sleeve.
I thought it was like old timey.
Old time.
Old English? Old English sleeves?
Yeah.
What would you wear?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably this. That's probably what I'm wearing.
Like, I think that plays.
Black pants, I think, though. Probably cowboy boots.
Yeah. Maybe break out the WrestleMania tank.
Oh, yeah, with the shiny.
And then the bow tie around your bare neck. Like
Imagine all the
draft show a couple
fashion people like, oh my God, look at that.
Look at this.
What are you wearing?
Very
Who are
modern
you
with
wearing?
a touch of nostalgia.
Unbelievable. One chain.
He's got cowboy boots on, which act as a natural height advancer. They take that shit so
You
seriously.
actually probably would get mad props
If
for
I
doing
showed
that.
up.
Like, look, this guy's a fucking legend. He's a superstar. Look at
Simple
him.
yet refined.
I would wear probably black tux pants, black tank top from WrestleMania, probably WrestleMania tank top. Cayman Crocs.
Yes.
Bow tie for sure. That's going to have a little glitz and glamour. And I think definitely a cane. I think a cane seems like the right one. That cane, by the way, is going to flip into a bong.
Oh. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
One hitter.
Wiz was all pissed. They wouldn't let him go because he wasn't allowed to smoke weed there.
They won't let Wiz Khalifa smoke.
That's what I
with
saw.
them. Let the fucking guy smoke some dope.
on. Jesus Christ.
With everything else going on in that fucking
Yeah.
room. Let the guy smoke some ganja, huh? It's Wiz Khalifa. Is that why he didn't go? He would have came in something. He is yoked right now.
Yeah.
He is strapped up right now.
Probably would have done the D Wade.
Yeah, the shirtless underneath.
Yeah.
That's super fashionable.
Was Jay Glazer there?
I think he was reporting.
He was. He's not taking photos.
No, definitely not.
I mean, Jay knows all those people, though.
Also, it looks like Wiz was smoking a J on the red carpet of the Met Gala in 2017, and they didn't want that to happen again.
So he's never been invited back? I don't know. That's awesome. They're just like, how dare he? How dare this man smoke on our red carpet? Banished for life! Watching Succession, it's hard not to just assume every human that's in that upper echelon is just like all of them.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. Inspiring and great entertainment. All right,
yeah.
we're out of here. Hammer Dahn is in about 15, 20 minutes. Big thanks to Dana White and Rupper for joining us. Let's remember hockey's happening.
That's right.
Playoffs.
The NBA's happening.
Here we go.
We'll have 2 editions of T4 tomorrow. Can't wait for that. AJ's breaking news tomorrow as well. Ain't that right?
Yeah, Wednesday's usually a big day that I get all the info from all my people.
All right, that's
Boom,
awesome.
perfect.
Can't
Love
wait to
it.
hear what it is. We'll see you all tomorrow. You're the best. Bye.